everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Fistivities, episode 99. Wow, this is incredible. Hi, KB here, Karyn Bryant with you. Tonight, Hanato La Raja and I are welcoming Alexander Hernandez, who is fighting at UFC Vegas 80. I'm very excited about that. That is on October 7th. We don't have any UFC fights this weekend, but then next weekend we'll be back in Vegas for that one. So Alex is fighting Bill Algeo, so we will talk to him about that and a bunch of other stuff. But let me just make sure everything is correct here. I'm sorry, I was a moment behind today. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I'm here now. I hope everybody's doing well. So this is Fistivities, a show that I do with Hanato La Raja, who is a 27-time World Jiu-Jitsu champion. He is he's like I would say the Brazilian Andrew Dice Clay or something like that. It's like if you think about the kind of tone and the approach that Andrew Dice Clay used to take on things and women and his approach to things. So I don't want to, Hanato has a more elevated sense of humor than that, I would say. But at the same time, he's in the gutter, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, we have a lot of fun here. That is kind of the point of this show. A lot of podcasts are out there. It definitely does seem like almost everybody has one themselves nowadays. Ours is... we have an incredible guest list. If you guys go back and look, and next week on the 100th episode, we'll do kind of a retrospective and stuff. But if you look at our guest list, it is incredibly solid, and maybe I'll go through some of these names. But we always talk about their fight, maybe the fight they have upcoming or the fight that they just had or something. But most of the time, we kind of just get into other stuff. So even though you may see the same guests on other podcasts, I have to say that when they're here with us, it's very, very, very different. I guarantee you that. So hopefully you guys can enjoy some of that stuff. But yes, let's say hello. What's up, VT? It's good to see you. Hello, Suavecito. Good to see you again as well. I know on some of these Tuesdays, it's a little tougher when Contender is going. But you could always watch that later. This is live. And so is Contender. I get it. But I'm going to move this. But you could always just catch up on that later. You might be saying, KB, we could do the same for this. But you can't. I mean, you can. Whatever. You can. To be honest with you, these shows are all on YouTube. They are also on Fistivities.com. And they are on, Stitch. Actually, I can't say Stitcher anymore. Stitcher's gone. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and, basically sort of, I think, what is it, like wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us in a lot of different places. So, a few things I want to get to. I didn't have a chance to make a hit list today, but we are going to be talking to Alexander Hernandez, of course, who is fighting on October 7th. We will discuss what happened this past weekend with Mateusz Gamrot defeating Rafael Fiziev in the main event at UFC Vegas 79. We will talk about that fight, and then also, I've got some, footage of stuff on the main card there. Tough night for our girl Michelle Waterson Gomez, who's been on this show before. We love her. She's just a great girl and just really likable and everything. But that was a tough one to watch. Marina Rodriguez was very successful on Saturday, and she wanted to remind everybody that she's still in it for a title shot. And I think the message is received. So we can talk about that as well. Couple of news things I want to get into. Some fight stuff and just some other things that come from the internet. But I should show you guys because I need to, sometimes I just need to make sure that everybody realizes this. So last week we did have a Chidi's Choice for the main event on Saturday.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Chidi's Choice. Today the Fistivities bearded dragon mascot is choosing the UFC Vegas 79 main event between Rafael Fiziev and Mateusz Gamrot. What we do is we put Chidi down in front of a couple of piles of arugula, but first we take the names and we randomize them. Whoops, kind of hard today, Karyn. Let's go. Here we go. We're going to randomize these. Did he get it right? We're going to put one here. We're going to put one here. Then we put Chidi down, and he makes his choice. Okay. All right. Chidi has gone over to the right once again.
Gotta have his handler start him back a little further. I'm not
Kind
gonna
of where
lie.
he tends to go more often than not, but you never know.
my handler-
Chidi believes that Mateusz Gamrot
So
the
there
win.
you go.
We shall see. We shall see.
So we did see, right? We did see. We saw that Chidi was correct. Again, the week before, he had also picked Alexa Grasso. Not going to lie, the last two fights have been a little weird, the way they ended, right? So with Gamrot, Fiziev was injured. It was in the second round, and he threw a kick. Gamrot blocked it with his elbow, but it was actually Fiziev's left knee that popped, the one that was on the ground, stabilizing. You know, he was planted on his left foot. So that is the one that is injured, and he has posted some things today. Sorry about the alarms, you guys, but I did keep my balcony doors open while I can. I know the seasons are changing, and I'm very, very sad about that, but I do still keep my balcony doors open while I can. But anyway, I digress. Rafael posted some stuff today about his knee and the injury and, you know, his recovery. I believe it was ACL, which sucks. And, you know, it's going to be out for a while. But it was a very entertaining fight, I thought, as long as it lasted. Here's the thing. I like when Chidi's right. And I actually really like Gamrot, I'm not going to lie. So here's the funny thing about Gamrot and Chidi. So the last time I had a pick with Gamrot, it was when he was fighting Armin Sarukian, and Chidi picked Sarukian. I mean, a lot of people would have picked Sarukian. No disrespect to Gamrot, but anyway, Chidi had picked Sarukian, and Gamrot won. So he came to the desk after the fights over at the desk, UFC desk, and he said something to me like, "Oh, I see your little lizard was wrong," or whatever. And I was like, "Oh my God!" So he actually watched. So this time, I sent it to him in advance, on Insta, because Gamrot was Chidi's pick. So I sent it to him, and so then we all know what happened. I didn't actually get to see Gamrot after the win because he just talked to John Gooden, but he knows that Chidi was correct and that Chidi's a Gamrot fan too. Here's the thing. It's never about respect. He loves everybody. It's just that Chidi's just making the picks is all. Yeah, exactly. Suavecito. Chidi totally struck again. So, and yeah, Joe Boza, it is a rare week. We are off for the UFC, but I do believe there's some other stuff going on. Oh, and that reminds me of something else I can talk to you about. Next week, obviously, maybe you guys don't know. The main event is Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green. Bobby Green is a former guest of ours here. Let me see which episode Bobby was on, because so Bobby Green, I have it right here. Bobby was an early adopter. I want to say, yeah, Bobby Green was number 11. So episode 11 with Bobby Green. So he and Grant are fighting next weekend. And I did an interview with Grant on Sunday, and he was great. And he trains at ATT with Gamrot. So just a little excerpt I will show you here, but I asked him what it was like when those two trained together and stuff. And apparently it sounds like it's awesome. Like, it definitely does sound like something that that all of us would want to see. Okay, wait, where did I put it, Grant? Shoot, where did I moved it over here. Here we go. Sorry, I don't have a producer. I'm the producer. So here you go. Here's what he had to say about training with Gamrot. Thing that's so tough when you get a bunch of sharks in the one tank, and you know that potentially you could end up fighting each other, but at the same time, that's a great person to go with, because you know you guys are at a good level together. So have you mixed it up with him much?
Yeah, me and Gamrot train all the time. Anytime he's in, I try to get in with him, sparring, rolling, grappling. He's just a wealth of knowledge, and we are like two Tasmanian devils just scrambling around on the ground. It's so fun to do. I can only imagine how much fun it is to watch. And it's one of those situations where when him and I go, you can kind of see everybody else like glance over, like, oh, yeah, what's going on over there? So I love Gamrot. I'm so happy for him, and I would absolutely love to see him fight somebody like Charles Oliveira, who I actually think he matches up with really well. Obviously, Charles is very dangerous, but I think Gamrot can take him down multiple times, stay safe, do jiu-jitsu with him, and even get a title shot off of a fight like that. I think that's huge for him.
So yeah, so that is Grant, and so I should have I get busy, and like I said, I don't have a producer, but I meant to make the graphic here. But anyway, I have the whole interview. Anyway, with Grant is about probably like 15 minutes or so, at least 15, maybe even more. Sorry, the earbud is popping out. Anyway, he's great. We had a lot to say. You know, he's been tearing it up in the UFC, and he's definitely one of those people that is a very high risk, low reward person to fight because he's been on such a tear and he's such a good grappler. So we get into, you know, the matchup with Bobby Green, but we get into a lot of other things as well. Why he believes he would be a good match for Makhachev, why a lot of things. So anyway, that is on my YouTube. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you could just find it right there. If not, you know, I'll be sharing it and stuff. I have put that reel out with Gamrot, but with him talking about Gamrot, but we had a really good time, and Grant is very good, and he's one of those people that you need to start paying attention to if you aren't already. With that said, this is a person who he makes you pay attention. I'm not going to lie. He does make you pay attention. Whether that's always a good thing or a negative thing, I don't know. Some people say no publicity is bad publicity. Blah, 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 blah. But at any rate, I don't know. He's here on a Tuesday. Well, let me bring him in, and then I wanted to look something up. At any rate, here is my co-host. Episode 99. We've done this 99 times now. This is crazy. Or 98 prior times. Ladies and gentlemen, the World Jiu-Jitsu Champion 27 times over, Mr. Hanato La Raja. Hi. Oh.
Guess who?
You love that booty plant.
Well, I do, because it represents fertility, growth, anus, vagina, cheeks, hips, all that kind of stuff. And also I'm wearing the great Al Pacino. She got a great ass.
Great ass.
And you got your head all the way up it. God are you?
Scent of a woman. It's a classic.
Well, this one is not Scent of a Woman, but he sounds just like that same character. This is him in Heat.
But the great ass line is from Scent of a Woman.
Never quarrel with you, Uncle Hanachi.
You know I love Heat. You know I love Heat.
Well, then you'll remember that when he's talking to Hank Azaria and he's like, why the fuck did I let this bitch get me involved? He goes, because she got a great ass. And you got your head all the way up it. Yeah.
Okay, but you know what my favorite line? This is so random, but on from Heat, the whole line is like, I'm on the downside of a bad marriage. My third. You know what I mean?
I'm on the downside of a bad marriage. My third. What about, sorry if the chicken got overcooked. You know what's fucked up about that performance? It's always pissed me off because I've been the victim of this so many times. This fucking guy, when Al Pacino shot that movie, the character was supposed to have a B storyline where he's struggling with, like, because he's like an adrenaline junkie and he's got to stay up for all this shit and he's all fucked up. He's a cokehead, so he was constantly doing bumps of coke and stuff like that,
sniffing
and they cut that whole part out. So there's many scenes in the movie where he's doing coke behavior,
right?
Where it's not explained. So you just think, oh, there goes Pacino again, chewing up the scenery, and it's not fair. You know, like that one where he goes, "Give me all your gun!"
Right. But he's coked out. If now you know.
In that one, you see him going in the elevator or whatever, and he's like coked up. So it makes sense. And it's like, it's fucked up because there's no disclaimer that, like, hey, by the way, you know, this fucking guy did a great job. We just, you know, we cut out the part.
We cut out all this stuff.
You know what I mean? It's not fair. I hate that shit.
Meanwhile, I really like Val Kilmer in that one too, but I've always liked Val Kilmer.
Speaking of fucking Val Kilmer.
And our guest is here, though, so we need to get to him.
Never mind Val Kilmer. Let's go to the guest.
Yeah, because Hanato, what I wanted to say is, and we'll circle back to that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Alexander is on it's the week before his fight. He's on a tight schedule. We have him for about 25, 30 minutes. He likes to go to bed early.
Oh, caralho. I like to go bed early, but in the dating. You know what I mean? Like they say, you want to go to bed too early. I'm like, caralho.
You're like, no, let's bring it.
But let me tell you something. let's bring your light up. I want the people to see your beautiful
Okay,
peach.
but so when you say you go early, is that first date?
If need be, I mean, if
If
all
need
thi-
be, if need be.
all things being equal, yeah. I mean, of course.
But but not for nothing. If you F her on the first date, do you ever call her again?
Oh, for sure. I've had a number of. In fact, man, all the girlfriends I had in my life that was long termy, almost all of them at least gave me a hijabi. They
On the first date?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's how they lasted that long.
That's how
Because
they
gave
endeared
me-
themselves.
They gave me fellatio.
Let me Felicia get to know you. Let me bring him
Felicia.
in now because listen, Alexander Hernandez.
Wow.
I met this guy
Speaking
a
of
while
fellat-
back.
Speaking of fellatio.
I'm very excited to
Not
talk
good.
to him. He's fighting on October 7th. He's fighting
God,
Bill Algeo. And so this is going to be a hell of a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, let me make sure I got the right person here. Let me bring in Mr. Alexander Hernandez.
Oh, caralho, you cut your
Dang,
locks.
how are y'all?
Hey,
You cut your
Man, I'm on
locks
that
for her.
late night right now.
That's true.
I know.
Look at that. I like
Look how
you have the
cute
taste
you
for.
are.
You have the taste. Oh, I'm not that cute. Will you stop that?
No.
We're focusing on this gentleman here. The background, I like the green.
You
I
look
like
good.
Yeah,
I like your style, caralho.
thank you. Yeah.
Hi.
I'm over here right now. Hey,
I haven't seen you in a minute.
man, it has been a minute. And nice to meet you over camera, Hanato.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure.
Is it?
it's
Be
a
careful.
hair treat for her. And I can't believe I seen you. This is the first time I seen you with the buzz. I think.
Oh,
no?
fresh out the salon. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get
I did, I don't know, back in 19 for the Trinaldo fight, and I just hadn't. It felt time to run it back, so I just wanted to.
Yeah. No, you get away with it. You know who you kind of look like? You're not the same type of person, but who was the fucking the great like the tight end for the Patriots that was like killing people and shit?
Gronk?
No fucking
Dude, I
Gronk.
got it to Gronk, Aaron Hernandez, which sucks.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Aaron Hernandez. Yeah, but bro, he got in
God,
so
it's-
much trouble.
No, never mind that, but he
Yeah.
was he's a piece of shit, but he was a good looking fucking guy.
Yeah,
had
he
the
is. I'm a
dimples.
Patriots fan. I'm from Boston,
Yeah.
so that's my team. But
Yeah.
that sucked.
No, that's why I said
Yeah.
not like
Fair,
his
fair.
personality. I'm just saying he's a good looking Latino
Similar
gentleman.
face.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Face,
And the hair.
Yeah,
you know?
he's a good-looking guy. Like to me. So, well, I know you're. Well, wait. First and foremost, this fight's at featherweight, right? You're going
Yeah.
back down to featherweight, right?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say
Oh.
he and Drew Dober are. I was gonna say at lightweight they're the lookers, but but he's a featherweight now.
I
So.
appreciate that. Now I'm trying to. I gave the lights to Drew. Take
Yeah,
the-
let him eat a little bit. You know, we don't
Yeah.
want to have every fucking thing in the world over here. God, are you?
Hey, so
Yeah.
listen, I know we only have you for like 25 minutes, 30 minutes or something, but so
man,
I,
man, after sitting in the lobby for long enough, though, I might just kick it for a little bit longer, man.
Oh.
You guys
all right,
are
good.
I like that, my brother.
I like it too. So I want to
Hernandez.
get the fight stuff out of the way first and foremost. But so Bill Algeo, so this is a dude that I remember meeting, sort of quote unquote meeting Bill Algeo because he was fighting my buddy Ricardo Lamas. And like Ricardo was supposed to fight somebody else. Bill Algeo came in on short notice, and it was going to be like Ricardo's like goodbye fight, right? And Bill Algeo came in and was a freaking dog. And I
don't
remember it was just like, God damn it! Like, how did this kid come in from nowhere and like give my homie a run for his money? I was like mad. So my point is just this: that people who don't know should know, and if they don't know, that you and Bill Algeo are. This is going to be a great fight.
Yeah, a couple dogs for sure. And he's tough, man. And last one was at 45s with another dog, and I kind of learned how to tame it a little better. You know, be a little bit more of like Caesar, that's the dog whisperer versus being in the town with the bad boy. You know what I'm saying? So I try to censor it, keep him down. But no, I'm looking forward to it though. I am, and I've got this time getting a grip on the 45 cut and the drop has been like night and day. Like I'm in an exceptional mood. Like even right now. Last time I was kind of I was almost in the shit with the cut for too long.
I can imagine.
Just under duress for too long. And so I really kind of brought some levity to the camp this time. It's been a good camp. I look healthy. I feel good. And so I'm looking forward to bringing it. I'm excited about this weekend. I love fight weeks.
to me, I feel like the weight cut is the most intrusive part of the whole process. It's like the most fucked up thing that the fighters go through. It feel to me, I almost feel I wish it was not a part of the game somehow. You know what I mean? It's just it's a shame that have to be. I'd have the fighters spending time learning techniques or doing extra round sparring than fucking losing weight. You know what I mean?
It just takes one big asshole too. Just one big successful asshole to put us all.
That's what I mean. More, you know? That's the fuck what I mean. It's like if only they would get hit of that. It's like everybody's having to kill themselves just because the other guy is gonna do it. If you don't, why don't you just guys say, "Hey, look, let's shake hands. Let's just fucking not do this, please."
Man.
You know? But there's a lot of people who think that you should either like fight at your natural weight or I mean, there's a lot of debate about that.
Yeah, because we get cheated. I want to see the freshest. I want Hercules Hernandez. You know what I mean? Sure. I don't want. I don't want the other shit here.
I agree, dude. Shit, Hercules Hernandez, hit me with that juice tube, daddies. Hit me
well,
up,
I thought of that. What a fucking great name for you. I feel like okay. First of all, let me be honest here. I always thought your fucking nickname was was Alexander the Great. Okay, you know that's. No, not the Grinch. The Grinch. The Grinch. Not the Grinch. But
sorry, his accent is not great.
Wait a second. Now we onto something though.
But the Grinch is actually.
I am kind of Grinch.
You're taking people.
The Grinch who stole Fistmas.
Oh God! I'll give you. You know what? I'll give you.
That's not bad. That's actually not bad.
You're putting too much spice on that one. Listen, you're putting too much nutmeg on that one. It's not even fucking the Christmas seasons yet. But I thought it was Alexander the Great, and then I didn't realize that it was the Great Ape.
That was recent. To be fair, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being around for a minute too.
Okay.
And I don't know why, man. Maybe just kind of like a little crisis of character, but I just kind of wanted to reinvent it. I wanted to feel something original.
I understand.
I look like a monkey, and so man, it felt right.
I think a lot of women
don't get Bryce Mitchell involved. He doesn't believe in evolution.
Please don't bring that stuff. Please don't bring that stuff up.
Oh, we're going on a deep dive on Bryce Mitchell later on the show. Believe you me.
Underdeveloped.
Pun intended.
Yeah, I like the Great Ape was suitable, it was original, it was unique to me. So
okay, now
everybody always wants to be a gorilla, but man, I prefer the orangutan.
This is true. Well, the Hangacheng is one of the great ape, you know, because he have no tail, and all of the tail that was taken away there, it went to his schwanz.
1,000%.
Yeah, 1,000. Yeah.
Well, and I'm glad that you.
It went the opposite direction, and his schwanz was he have some orange hairs on there, but we don't forget about that one.
Oh I mean, we get right past it, dude.
Yeah. Oh, caralho. She prefer uncircumcised. She prefer. She like the French.
It's been so long, Hanato. I don't even remember what I prefer.
She likes Arabs. She wants a guy uncircumcised who's smoking hashish.
Salama, mama. Okay.
Yeah, salama.
I'm actually not mad at Dark and Swarthy. That is actually 100% true. Not mad at Dark and Swarthy.
Salami alaikum. Okay, anyway.
But Alexander, that's the thing I was telling Hanato earlier today. I go, bro, when I met this guy, he was just Alexander the Great. And I'm like, and then I'm looking, I'm like, and then they added the Great Ape. And I was like, okay, I don't remember that. I like it. I'm down, but I don't remember that. So yeah, why did you add the ape part?
Again,
because he felt like
monogram. You know, one time I was looking at that little emoji, you know, the little orangutan.
The orangutan, yeah, that's got detail on there.
I was like, dude, that's fucking me. That guy.
You got a skewed version of what you look like, my brother. I gotta be honest. The ladies,
it's a pretty hot orangutan.
The ladies tend to like you, whether you like it or not, my brother.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know if you still have a girlfriend. Maybe because if you have a girlfriend, you're gonna pretend you're ugly, so you just don't have to think about other women and stuff like that. Is that what's going on? You still or male friend? I know that one time you was involved with a gentleman named Alex.
I was involved with a gentleman named Alex.
Yeah, that you moved to Colorado with.
No, I have a gentle woman named Alex.
Oh, my fault. Listen, I'm a man of the 90s or whatever. I'm a modern man of the 90s.
Yeah, and Alex is the man's name, so I appreciate that, and she is kind of robbing that from me. Alexis is her name.
I didn't want to make any assumption, you know, because you never know. Because you can get the extra testosterone.
Man, that's super heavy too. Alex and Alex are always strange enough, but two men Alexes I don't even know if that'd be more natural or less natural than like a man and a woman, Alex. I don't
It's
know.
powerful. They will be very
Yeah,
powerful.
it's powerful.
And imagine the testosterone. He's gonna give you extra testosterone.
It's true. Well, and listen, not for nothing, but
wait a second.
well, I was
Wait,
gonna say now in LA, in Hollywood, a lot of time gay couples do look like each other.
Some
So-
Chinese, like it's
Man,
people
it's
who
kind of
own
in
dogs.
America, I think you see that a lot. You do see. There's a whole like media page to that. I forget the name of it, but it's like
It's called Siblings Are Dating.
siblings are dating. There you
Yes,
go.
it's
shit.
hilarious.
Thank
My
you.
kid and I do that all the time.
Siblings are
And
dating.
half the time I'm like, siblings? And then they're like dating. I'm like, oh my God. Like, but it's
Yeah.
hilarious. Hanato, if you've never seen it, it's this
I
whole
feel like I
thing.
have seen some shit
It's
like
hilarious.
that. Yeah.
Actually, the siblings are dating is hilarious.
What I wonder is if you know how you have your two women, and then like if they hang out a lot, their period is gonna sync up.
Yeah.
Do you think if two guys is together, their testosterone is like through the roof?
I guess it's how you manage it. Because you could probably
Hold up.
pump each other up to a certain degree.
Ooh.
But it takes a lot of discipline. And you probably have to. Man, I almost.
Wait, what? What kind of discipline do it take?
I'm almost thinking like you wouldn't always want to be finishing all over each. You'd almost want to just like
True.
build each other
so
up.
save that one.
But then there's this other idea of what if you're just passing seeds back and forth,
Mate,
Because that is
you're like a
that's an
Johnny
idea, too.
Appleseed.
Yeah,
Johnny Appleseed was do that.
Johnny.
because that's probably how
God.
you would be in sync if it's constantly like I'm a charge up and I'm gonna pass it
Oh,
on to
God,
my
are you?
boy. And my boy's name's also Alex. I'm gonna charge up and just deliver it and then serve it back.
Yeah. Can you imagine like they together like doing the interlace and it's like, yeah, brother, like
Dude,
It's like Wonder Twin powers activate.
that's how like
Wonder
Tennessee
Twin
got
Powers.
started right there, dude. That was a real that was a narrow line back there on Muscle Beach, through that era. That was a real narrow line.
Yeah, it was.
And that's probably how
Yeah.
a lot of that Gold's Gym got originated.
yeah.
Yeah. But so it's interesting there. So what's the reasoning behind 45 instead of 55? Because in fact, I was looking at, some of the stuff I have earlier. Like I was actually, working the night you and Jim Miller fought, and I filmed some great stuff, and it's on my YouTube or whatever. But like, you've been successful. It's not like you can't win at 55.
No, yeah. And
So why go to 45?
Man, well, there are some big boys out there. There's been a few times. I mean, mentioning the Dober fight, Trinaldo was. Most fights, I'll walk in and I'm like, man, what the fuck did you do that I didn't get last night? Because I felt like I'm walking in at like 60 some odd, and I know that they're easily breaching 70s. Moicano was kind of like the nail in the coffin for me on that, where I was like, dude, we're not in the same weight.
Yeah.
You feel like you're at least 10 older than me. And I'm not using that as the reasons for my downfall have 100% been my own self-defeat, mental, for sure.
Well,
and I feel like I exploited a lot of that and figured it out and then executed on it in the Miller fight. I was happy with that on short notice. But I want to give myself some advantages, because where I walk around at, I think that might be in line with a lot of the top guys at 45, and I'll kind of be undersized. And man, you look at Volkanovski the Great. Now he's big. Now he's a fucking tank. But before, maybe he wasn't a super huge 45. I don't know. Maybe he was, though, because he came from that big rugby background.
I know he was a fucking. Maybe he was a heavyweight.
Yeah, maybe he was.
He was over 200 pounds.
Yeah.
He was over 200.
Big, but
Yeah.
you get some guys where Toporia's one. He's not super big.
Right.
And he's super successful, But
Fast as fuck. Fast as shit.
Super fast. I don't think Mitchell's probably not that big. Bryce Mitchell.
He's not.
Yeah, he doesn't seem too big either. But
He looked a
he's
lot
super
bigger.
successful.
I'll tell you what. He looked a lot bigger than fucking Ige in that fight.
I know, but he's not that big. I think Dan's only maybe 5'5" or 6". Like Dan's not.
I'm gonna tell
tall.
Dan you said that.
Yeah. So
How dare you?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I end up back 55 at some point, but I thought if I can manage the weight well, then I want to do it. I want to give myself that advantage. And the only reason I started to think about it was I started working with perfecting athletes when I moved out to Colorado, and 55 got so easy. It got too easy to make. And so I was like,
Oh, okay.
man, like,
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like I'm not trying at all, and the weight's falling off, and I could easily, like on weigh-in days, I was like, man, if the weight class is 150, I could just do it right now.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, let me just plan for 45.
I like that.
Yeah, and so
that makes sense, actually.
Yeah, so I started kind of giving that a go, and just the more I've met people. When I was in San Antonio, I was kind of a little bit on an island, to myself. We had Ohana out there with me and Jason Yarrington, and we didn't have as many like peers to bounce ideas off of.
Mm-hmm.
So like as I got more involved with other named guys and just more UFC athletes, other big athletes, moving out here and just traveling, training more, I got a sense for like where they're walking around at, who's where, and kind of like where people fall in on their day to day, and then the cuts they make. So again, I was like, I feel like it's within reach, so I want to give it a go if I can.
Yeah.
And like I said, man, this one's been exceptional. Like the cut's been awesome. I feel great.
Nice.
So,
well, as long as you kind of maintaining a certain weight, even when you don't have a fight, I think it makes it a whole different experience.
Hanato,
Sure.
you're a little glitchy. I'm not gonna lie, you're a little glitchy, but you're here with us. You're here with us.
I don't know. Maybe I'll go and come back.
Yeah, you're a little glitchy. But
I don't want to deprive Hercules Hernandez of seeing
exactly
that ass t-shirt. That fresh off the heater right there.
My visage.
And listen, here's the thing.
Right there.
Here's the thing, Alex, is that Hanato splices in. He's in Brazil, right? So he doesn't. He just kind of splices in to whoever's like internet each week, and so we don't always like every week I like roll the dice. I'm like I think Hanato's gonna be here, and so it always depends on the splice, if you know what I mean. And we've all been there. Look, we've all been broken. We've all boosted cable off of somebody.
Sure.
I'm not trying to pretend.
Boost worse than cable, so yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm not getting high and mighty here. Don't take that. No, I just want to look at some of these comments. So that Joe's saying, they think there's going to be a good fight. Like both you guys are hoping to win 2 in a row. You beat Jim Miller. Bill Algeo beat TJ Brown. And so, yeah, like when I'm trying to think, because I wonder about your like activity. If you, hey, you're back, Hanato. Yeah.
How does that grab you?
Seems better.
Okay.
Yeah, like are you fighting on the schedule you want to? Are you?
No, yeah, definitely not. Yeah. I never have been, and it's that's been the most frustrating thing, because I want to be active, and in the beginning, because I came in hot, it was like all these politics of managing like the top 15 and waiting for so and so, and so that kind of sucked, and then just injuries. Like I was really excited off the Miller fight because it came in January, and I wanted to roll right into something because I felt healthy, but I broke my hand, and so I was hoping it was just a
which
little
one?
chunky after the fight. My left one. So
left hand.
I don't know if you can see it, but nice little scar around the thumb. And so that ended up. I had an option to fight Sabatini in. Man, it was either like end of June or July, and it was like it was just on the cusp of I would have been cleared like maybe 2 or 3 weeks right before the fight, so I would have only had a couple weeks to actually really get it in. And I was coming from like 180 at that point too, so it was a lot of adapting to do.
Plus, fighting a grappler, like you're gonna need your hand.
Not being able, I hadn't been able to use my hands at all, so I would have only gotten a bit of time to really get hard training in. And so I was like, dude, I asked him just to push it back 2 weeks. I was like, if you could just push it back, give me even just 2 more weeks, and just let me like just actually get a few weeks of sparring and grappling back. And they couldn't do it, and then he ended up getting an earlier fight. So I was hoping to get him at the end of the year, even after this fight. But we'll see. I think he's already booked. But
why you want him so bad?
Man, it was just offered, and just where we're all sitting.
So you want just to be like, hey, I gave my word, I'm gonna fight this guy. You want to be a man of your word kind of thing, or you really like,
man, that's fucking good money right there. I think
Sabatini's on the rise. That's what I'm saying. If you get a win over a guy that people think is hot,
stop him out.
But Hernandez is like kind of he invigorating your name. You know what I mean? Like I remember when you first came on the scene, people was like, "Oh, this guy's a problem." and then you had a couple hiccup, but I feel like he surged what you had, and he's coming back, you know, because your name, it's not like you're just coming out of nowhere. People are like, oh yeah, that dude is dangerous, you know what I mean? And I think it's not like you're starting from scratch, you know what I'm saying? So you already have a resume there, you know?
Yeah. Just need to build some consistent volume, man. That's really that's really the name of the game, and that's what you were just bringing up with, you know, me and Algeo trying to do that. But no, we're all kind of sitting in that pool around that top like 20 kind of range right now at 45. And so it's just a name that I wanted to get. And so, yeah, man, I really wanted to get the volume going this year. And then the hand kind of slowed me down. And then I was ready to go. I was ready to go in summertime and just waiting. And then finally this came in October. So I'm grateful just to have it, but hopefully get through it healthy and my hand raised, and then try to roll in anything in December. But,
I was going to say there's a couple
like to
shows
have
in December you could sneak in.
Yeah, fights. A year. I'd like to get busy. So
that would be nice. Well, you're in a great place now. You're at the Factory X. That's great. You know, it seems like there's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of, and they seem to stick together and all that kind of good stuff.
It is a good click over there for sure. And the man, good momentum right now too. We had a rough week this last week, but before that, it's been like
a few months. Why am I forgetting? Why am I forgetting who had a rough week?
We had
you had Cody Brundage, who won by DQ.
Who took on a world beater, but Brundage. So it was kind of a little back-to-back like skid, but Brundage is a weird thing. That was
it bees like that, you know. That don't mean nothing.
Cody's was up, but listen. But in general, you know, I was working with Anthony a couple weeks ago. Anthony won his fight against Span, over in Singapore. And to be honest, like, Royval, our former guest, we know he's fighting Pantoja later this year. So, like, that's awesome that Brandon finally got his title shot. I'm so effing excited for that.
He's great.
We love that kid. We freaking love Raw Dog.
Yeah, we had him here. He was funny. He was good.
That's my boy, and I love giving him shit too, because he's about to fight for a title, and we'll be at like a Broncos game or something, right? And we're sitting there, and I think we were at a preseason game, and we're sitting there, and the fights are up. So like we're sitting there with the phone, kind of watching the game, watching the fights, and this dude next to us is, oh man, you got the fights? We're like, yeah. And he's like, oh, dude, I'm a huge fan, blah, blah. I've always been a UFC fan. And he's got, 2 UFC guys.
And he's looking at you, too.
He has no fucking clue.
He's like, yeah, man, dude, I love Gaethje. I love Say. And he's talking about these Denver guys. And at least I'm not a Denver local, so I don't take anything personal. I'm from Texas.
Yeah.
I'm San Antonio.
Right.
So I'm from Denver. I'm just here part-time. I'm San Antonio. And so, but Brandon, though, poor bastard, grew up here.
He's like, what the fuck?
He's like, bro, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, those guys are great. He's like, oh yeah, you know Moreno? but I love giving him shit for that though, because man, that guy doesn't get the respect he deserves out here though.
Not at all.
He will though. It's coming.
He will.
He's
badass.
You talk about a highlight reel. That dude's gotten, I think, like a bonus every one of his fights. I think he's gotten a bonus every single one of his fights.
He's fantastic. I mean, his fighting, his personality, everything about this kid. He was sharp on the show. He was fucking funny.
I love him.
Like everybody loved him. Everybody who watched loved it. I mean, his time is coming. He's still young, you know?
Oh, yeah,
I love that kid. And I can't remember if I met him on Fight Island or if I met him before then or whatever.
I think it was
But
Fight
it was
Island.
One of those things, like, he's one of those guys where you meet him and you're like, oh, freaking love this dude. Like, right away.
Yeah, I think that's where we all, because we went out together, and that was my first time cornering him, which was the craziest shit of my entire life. And I think, I know that's where I don't know if we met in person, but that's definitely where we hung out, you, me, Angela, and everyone was there. So you're doing champagne by the pool after Jan Blachowicz fight.
Right.
Everyone was popping off. It was a good time. But Brandon, that was the week he fought Kaikar France.
Yep.
And that shit was bonkers. First
Amazing.
time ever seeing a Royval fight up close. I'm cornering the son of a bitch. Also, first time being in the UFC corner, and it's this fucking guy's fight. And he goes out, but the whole time it's like, hey, the dude's got a left-hand cannon. Let's just watch out for the left hand. We're going to be straight. Just go to work. First 15 seconds, walks out, gets smoked by the left-hand drop. I'm like, oh, my God, it's over. I'm panicking. Coach is like, ooh, that wasn't good. And he's like, watching. Yeah. Dude stumbles. Kai goes in for the kill. Brandon comes up with a spinning back elbow, drops him, and then proceeds to beat that ass. And that was the craziest shit I've ever seen. Yeah,
It was amazing. And the funny
so
thing
much
is
fun.
I took a picture of Brandon and Kai, like leaning kind of over the octagon and talking to Dana. And so they're there, they're like, bro, fight of the night or what? Like, because they're such badasses, right? So I have this
they were
great
both badass.
picture
They are badass.
and I shared it. And so like Brandon has it. And I sent it to Brandon and Kai because
cool.
it was such a cool moment to see.
Yeah.
And Dana was just like, you guys fucking rock.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I mean? It was one of those things and it was just such a cool moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that was insane.
Those guys is fan favorites. I mean, you gotta love both of them. I mean, even I don't know Cara France, but I love to
Oh,
watch
he's so
him fight.
cool.
Though. You
I'm
know, I
such
love
a
to
Kai
watch him
fan.
fight. Yeah.
Like they're both awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna hoot. Yeah, I'm always gonna hoot for somebody that came on the show before
For sure.
someone that didn't came on the show. So.
But
Oh,
I'm
you
just
keep
letting
those
you know
big
that
ass off
Kai's
the
really
show,
cool, and
baby.
we probably
Yeah.
would have had him on the
Right
show
here.
if the time
We got
difference.
big couple right here. We already
Yeah.
know it's going down October 7th.
Oh, absolute. I mean, I already was a fan, but now, I mean, anytime I'm like, sorry to the other guy who, you should have came on the fucking show.
Oh, it's so true. So screw Bill Algeo. Bill Algeo can take a
Yeah.
long walk off a short pier.
Yeah, he's dead to me, God. He's fucking dead to me. He's a fucking scumbag. Boy.
Well, and the funny thing is, so Alex, I was explaining to Hanato. The other thing is so we met on Fight Island, but in San Antonio when we were working a couple of years ago, when Eric Anders and Walt and you, me, Eric, we all went out to like an after party after whatever.
He's another fucking funny one. That one, Eric Anders.
Both those guys. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Eric's been on the show. Walt was supposed to be on, and he was a no-show. So I'm a little bit disappointed in Walt.
No. But wait a second. Wait, you're talking about Big Chicken?
Yeah. Remember he blew
No,
us
he
off?
remember why? No, he remember why?
Oh, yeah. No, there was
Yeah.
a thing.
There was a thing. It wasn't him. I was pissed too, but it was a thing. It was a substance.
There was a thing. I love Walt, and I'm
Yeah.
going to, look,
It wasn't
I'm
his
always
fault.
going to give Walt a pass.
No,
whatever.
he's down. He's down for the cause.
I love me some Big Ticket, and you know we love us some friggin' Eric friggin' Anders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
But we were all in San
That's
Antonio
America's
and
peach
stuff.
pie
And
right there. Eric Anders.
He got that good hair, for her.
he got that good hair.
Yeah.
But so here's the question. Hanato and I were curious. So you're from San Antonio. Your last name is Hernandez. Like,
Oh yeah.
how Mexican are you? Like, what's the deal? Like, because you got that Canelo vibe, right? Like, you're like the different kind of Mexican. Are you even Mexican? Where does
Man, to the
Hernandez
bone.
come from? What's the
To
deal?
bone. Yeah, no, my grandfather bear crawled across that Rio Grande. Yeah, I'm
God,
I'm
are
super
you?
brown, baby. Yeah, super
So wait,
brown.
both parents is Mexican.
No, my dad's side.
What is your mom? What's your mommy?
I mean, is white and southern as you can.
Like
think.
Dutch.
Georgia.
Okay, but
I want to
like,
say
from
she's
what?
the whitest thing
From
possible.
where? From
Yeah.
where originally? Like what's
Georgia.
her?
The state of Georgia.
But not
Yeah,
Georgia, like
plantation
in
style.
Russia though. I mean,
Whites.
like before America,
Whites.
what kind of white people?
Oh, I don't even know, dude. Got some Indian.
Oh.
Got some other stuff. I don't know. That's the kind of white they are. They're just like, yeah, we're just kind of white. And I'm like,
We're
oh,
just what? Where they pronounce the W, they
exactly,
go
yeah, like-
what?
White.
white.
Oh, the
White.
H, the what? Yeah,
they're
you
just-
what?
they're just white.
You remember? Wait, you ever seen that movie, Your Highness? It's like that Danny McBride, but it's like a swords and sorcery and stuff.
Yeah,
You ever seen that?
Dude,
And then
that's
those
one of my
fucking-
favorite fucking movies.
Okay, so everybody thinks that's a piece of shit. It's one of the funniest
No,
fucking
the
movies
fuck,
that ever
dude.
came out. I
No,
know, yeah.
No,
But when those chicks come out and they look kind of like they're very pale and they almost look like they got like barbarian type shit on, and they're trying to allure them to come in, and then he hunts back and he's like, "Oh shit, white people!" You know, he remember like, "Oh,
Yeah.
white people, I knew it, white people." The
Yeah.
fucking yeah. So it's those people. They like what? Just white people.
Dude,
Like
that's
from
the way-
fucking Your Highness.
Now there's probably some flavor over there, but when I was
Yeah.
growing up in Georgia,
Yeah.
because I lived there right before moving to Texas, but it was just
Oh,
black
okay.
and white, just completely black and white. And like whenever
Segregation.
my grandparents and my dad and his siblings were living there, people didn't know how to identify him. It was like, what are you? She's like, my Thea, my aunt would be like, I'm Mexican. She'd be like, from what's that? She's like, from Mexico? From like, I'm Mexican. And she's like,
What are you, Italian?
yeah. People would think they were half black. That's
Right.
all. That's all it was. It was just black. And
I know
like-
Mexican people that
you
have
were
been
like
called
heavens.
the N-word in the South because, yes.
Yeah.
But I
And
know
so-
you was like heavens to
But,
Murgatroyd.
man,
No,
you didn't
I'm
see Mexican
white.
dudes unless it was like at like the fast food or construction sites, and then moved to moved to San Antonio, and it was like,
Oh.
mi gente, this is where the Browns.
You're like, oh
Mi
shit,
gente.
okay.
They are everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, you get too much of anybody, you get sick of them. I'll tell you that. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. And then you
100%.
miss them. Then you miss them when you don't have them.
Like, dude,
Like,
1,000%. 1,000%.
I lived in. Yeah.
Right, sorry.
No, I lived in New York for years, you know?
So same
And-
with me. Both of
and
us have.
You get so sick of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, like the music and the fucking in the building. You're like, shut the fuck up. And then as soon as I go to Los Angeles for a while and stuff, I'm like,
Where's my
"Caralho,
Puerto Ricans?"
I miss you guys.
I totally miss my Puerto
Like,
Ricans.
culture, the music,
I took
all
you
this
for
shit
granted.
say, turn
Yeah.
down, you're like,
I'm like, wait, come back, boy, come back. You know what I mean?
That's
You
how,
take for granted.
I moved,
Yeah.
we're out here in Denver, right? And
Yeah.
Denver's got an uncomfortable amount of white people.
It's so
Like,
white. My
like,
ex-husband is from Denver. It's the whitest place on the planet.
I've been there. I spent some time there. I was kind of shocked. Yeah.
It's
we
so
were
white.
downtown. My
Yeah.
uncle was here, and we were eating downtown. Or what? He's like, dude, I have seen. We're center of downtown, like Metropolitan. He's like, I've only seen one black guy, and he's with a
Mhm.
white girl. He's like, there's not
Yeah,
one
yeah.
other. I haven't seen
Yeah.
one race of anything. It's just
And
it is,
they got
it's
some
crazy.
dangerous white guys. Like in downtown, there was a
Dude,
lot
that's-
of fucking like the homeless dudes and crazy motherfuckers.
It's a tweaky
Yeah.
time, bro.
Yeah.
Well, and
You'll
listen, like I said-
never hear from me again if I get fucking mugged by one of these little tweaky 130 pounds.
Totally.
True,
Okay, you know what I mean?
true.
They're the pussiest,
Yeah.
the pussiest
They're-
like
yeah.
thieves and tweakers out here in Denver, dude. It's like
Yeah.
we're only gonna break in your car if it's unlocked. If
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
unlocked,
yeah.
We're gonna pick it.
Totally,
We're gonna
totally.
pick in your locks. We're gonna
Can't
make
be
a little
bothered.
mess. You know, if you look unable, okay, I might come at you, but otherwise, I'll just be in the fucking shadows lurking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
it's,
the kind
literally-
of guys that play hacky sack, like white dreadlocks, and play hacky sack,
It's
and
so
then
bad.
hit you with a skateboard or whatever.
I remember because here's the thing. So I'm divorced now, but I was married to a guy from
Oh, God,
from
yeah.
Colorado, and so I used to have to go there, and I don't have to anymore. But it was the blandest place, and it was the
Yeah.
whitest place on the planet. And I remember going there, and I remember at one point he goes, we were driving around, and he's like, okay, he goes, that's 4 points, like a part of downtown. He's like, that's where the brown people are, or whatever. Like it was literally like, and like they're all over there, and the rest of this is like white on white on white on white on white. And I
Yeah.
remember it was like you can't like God bless you like Grey Poupon spicy mustard is like holy shnikes, like what are we doing here, people?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's like
it's
habanero.
like
That's like
time out.
That's like ghost pepper sauce for those guys.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Spicy mustard. Yeah.
Spicy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
bless
yeah,
Colorado.
it's-
Bless up.
I moved right in the middle of the pandemic, and so it was super Manila and just super quiet
Yeah.
and boring. Everything was so shut down. Everyone was very scared. I mean,
Yeah.
you go visit fucking Texas, and it's like stepping out of a time portal. People
Wide
are popping
open,
off the
yeah.
streets.
Everything's
All
different.
of a
Yeah,
sudden,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
open
yeah, yeah.
container laws. There wasn't even open container laws before, dude. We got open container laws now. We're popping off in the street. People are rubbing chest to chest, sweating as humid as fuck out there. And then you come back to Colorado, and it's like everything's closed. It's still closed at 8. If you
But
wanted to eat
for-
something right now, good luck
for
finding
here?
some Puerto Rican. If you want to eat something, dude, it's what is it? It's like 8:51 right now. It's closed.
It's close.
Everything's closed here already.
I remember I stayed there for like 3 weeks for a job I was on, and I was like, oh God, are you? I was a little bit, and you know what we noticed too? I noticed the lack of. I'm a big ass enthusiast,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
and I don't care what haste the chicks were. There was a lack of ass. Like if I went to Arizona, and you see white chicks, you can see white chicks. It might be a lot of fucking white chicks, but there's asses out there.
Yeah.
For some reason, I went. What did they put in the water in Colorado? The
Might be
asses
the
was
altitude.
gone.
I don't know.
It all went
Yeah,
to
maybe the
shoulders.
altitude is.
Makes
It went to
the
the
ass
shoulder.
deflates with the altitude. It
Yeah,
doesn't have enough.
I was shocked. I was like, what the fuck happened to this shit?
No.
It was
Big,
very
like,
shocking.
yeah, some Viking women, some broads, some.
But
you know.
I like some
I
Viking
don't
women.
mind
But
it big, dude.
no, I don't mind a Viking women. But give me some cakes on there.
You need
Yeah,
the
but it
cake.
needs to be the proportion, but there's not.
Yeah.
They don't have. They kind of skip that lump.
Yeah, disappointed. I was very disappointed.
No, yeah. Yeah, because man, if you're gonna be boring, at least have an ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad that I don't necessarily have to go to Colorado anymore because it was just so white bread for me. It just was.
Well, man, I will say this: it has opened up a lot since the pandemic, and it is fun. You know, there's a lot of fun, and I'm not like I prefer beach to mountain, but there's a lot of religion in those hills, though. Man, you find yourself in those hills. My damn it,
It's
you know,
true.
everybody's smoking weed, everyone's eating mushrooms. My goddamn accountant gave me an ounce of mushrooms just for doing taxes.
Wow.
I mean, everybody's
Wow.
it's very man, a lot of free love out there.
It's
See,
very
I
true.
think-
It's very
I think
Corey
it's seriously,
Sandhagen.
I
Like
like
Corey
that.
Sandhagen is the like the
quintessential
poster boy of
Oh,
Colorado
yeah,
for me.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But see, okay, so that's what I was looking for. When I went there, I knew I was gonna see a lot of white people. I don't have a problem with a lot of white people. I thought though the white people was gonna be like hippies and doing drugs and like
it's more
incense,
bolder.
peppermints, and
Bolder.
I was like, I was in downtown and I was seeing like, it just wasn't what I thought in my mind. I
No.
thought it because what did I thought it was? You know what I thought it was gonna
Well,
be?
maybe
more
go to
like?
Boulder or something where everybody's smoking weed or
But
something
I
like
thought
that.
it was gonna be like Portland.
Yeah, that's Boulder. Go to where the school is and, go.
And
Yeah.
I was a little like, what the fuck is that? I couldn't get a heat on Denver. I was like, I don't understand this place, Carajo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, the downtown's nasty, but the neighborhoods are really nice.
Sorry.
Like you go out,
Cherry
so
Creek is nice. That's where all the
Cherry
rich people
Creek.
live, and like where the Broncos live.
Lohi is right outside of downtown, and it's
Okay.
super cool, a lot of fun. There's cool little, cool neighborhood, real cool neighborhoods. Downtown's kind of gross, but there's some cool spots.
Yeah, Hanato. The one of the most famous places is called the Brown Palace.
Oh,
What goes on? Oh, Carajo, what goes on there?
Yeah, what goes on there?
There could be a lot. That could be a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah, that's kind
Good,
of
good or bad. What goes on? Why is it called the Brown Palace? Carajo?
It's just this famous place in downtown Denver, and it's like this old hotel or inn or whatever. But it's called the Brown Palace, and I've been there for like high tea or whatever, and yeah.
Hi,
Hey,
Chi.
that's some
You was
classy ass. Yeah, that's a hell of a.
no. She means Haiti. She's saying Haiti in that. Hi, Chi. You was hanging out with a bunch of
I'm bougie.
Haitian drug dealers.
You know I'm bougie. But what was it? What is it about Mark Montoya, the Factory X guys? Like, why is that a place? Because I will say I
They're
do
gorgeous.
know, like,
That's why.
but no, in San Antonio and in Texas and stuff, there's obviously there's different gyms in Texas and all this kind of stuff. But I'm a Mark Montoya fan, and obviously, like I said, Anthony Smith is one of my best homies. So I feel like I have some insight on that camp and stuff. But why is that the one that you chose out of all of the options that you had?
Yeah, I was kind of checking some places out, and he was already kind of on my radar because he had said something about he had saw me on the LFA scene, and he made a note that if I was ever moving kind of like a free agent or looking for something, that he wanted to be one of the first ones on call.
Oh,
he was talking to
that's
my
cool.
manager about that.
Smart.
But I had talked to Safe, who I have a ton of respect for and really like out there, and
Love Safe Solid. He's awesome.
and some guys in Arizona over at Fight Ready, and
Yep.
even MMA Lab, who I'll connect more with later, but awesome dudes. I mean, some really great spots, and I even talked to Mark Henry on the East Coast, and if it wasn't for the pandemic, if it wasn't for the pandemic and things like that, because this was 2020 when I was making all these moves, so it was tough.
Okay.
I probably would have moved a little bit and connected with some of these guys, but I didn't really feel like I had good conversations with all of them. I just didn't necessarily go stay and train for, like, my plan was a week at a time. And so I did get two with a handful. And there might have been a few more, but also every time you're doing it, man, you feel like you're breaking up with a new girl each time.
You cheating
Yeah,
or cheating on your
care
girl.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
They're putting all this energy into you. You're sincerely giving them all this energy, and man, everyone's so fucking cool. Man, we all hung out for a week, bro. We'd be thick and thin. You know what I mean? So it's like you go hang out with these dudes. They're doing everything with you. They're putting you on, and they're fucking cool as hell dudes. And it's like, man, I don't want to just keep doing this. Like I'm trying to figure it out, but it feels greedy spending people's resources and time like that. So, but that's not why I didn't like side with Mark. But that was part of the process. And when I hit with Mark, it just felt, man, that was the most. Home sounds kind of whack, but it was kind of like a very familial relationship where he kind of had this like father-like impression, and he had his shit together real well. You know what I mean? Some guys, real good coaches, sometimes a little fun, a little too fun, where you're like, we might get in trouble. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I need that. might have that for some of my boys, but I don't know if I want that in the coach.
100%. Yeah. Business is business. Your
Business
profession is your profession. Yeah. It's not
exactly.
fucking goofing around, hanging out. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so there's just certain structure and things, but man, the way Mark's kind of presented to me of like, man, here's what you're doing, like pretty much on a screen, like 2 different screens. Like, here's what you're doing. Here's what we need you to be doing. And like, start breaking it down.
I like that.
Yeah, start dissecting things in a way that like I hadn't thought to approach them.
Yeah.
And like I said, I like the structure of the way he managed not just the gym, but his home, his life, his family. I respected him, you know, and I got to stay with him for the week and kind of live under his wing and pick up tutelage of the week. And he really, really resonated well with me, everything I saw. So, you know, whenever I was kind of done sort of checking out some of these spots, it's like, he was like, when you coming back? And I'm like, yeah, I'm coming back. So,
nice.
Yeah, so decided to make that move, grab my bill, and we came out to Denver. And
I know what didn't resonate well with you, that fucking altitude. That's enough to enough to make somebody go, I don't want to do this ever
But what
again.
a great advantage to train at altitude all the time.
Now, once he's got through over the hump, but in the beginning, it's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. I've taught seminars at altitude, and I'm embarrassed I'm like teaching techniques, and I'm about to pass out.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
those first 8 weeks.
no, I'm not kidding. It's devastating because you hold with them, then they want to hold with you, and then you feel like a bum. You know what I mean? You're like, oh my God. I look bad in front of these people. Yeah. No, it's no joke. Those first, it probably took me 2 months, like a full 8 weeks. And bro, I was anxious. Like every morning waking up with fear, just like the level of competition and going to war, especially, you know, I'm coming in 55. You're prime of the bunch, you know, middle of the heat.
Yes.
Everyone's trying to bite at your ass from 35 to 70, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you know, we're going to wars and yeah, you got the altitude to face too. You got what feels like gravity and God against you, you know? And so, man, it's like
a nightmare. It's like a bad dream.
The initiation process like nothing else.
It is. But, you know, and I, you know, like I said, I know Mark. He's great. One thing about him, I watch, when I'm trying to fall asleep at night, I watch videos on YouTube of farriers, which are the people who do horseshoes. That's the word for farrier. And apparently, Mark Montoya used to be a farrier, which I found out recently. Which I think is so cool. But
wait, he's a farrier. He likes to dress up like a stuffed animals and fuck people.
No, farrier, FERR, not FU. But he also has like Native American roots and all this stuff. Like Mark Montoya is like an interesting dude for sure.
Like,
but
John Dutton,
but yeah, I do know, like you were saying, like that's a Shark Tank of guys. It's a great place to be. What would you say is the thing that you've noticed that you leveled up on, like either first or most, or like, was there one thing that all of a sudden when you got there and you were among that crew that you were like, oh,
that's a good
I get
flash.
it. Like, was there something like that?
Well, the biggest profound change in my physical game happened pretty quickly out the rip there. And really, I mean, kudos to Mark on this because I was only in Denver for maybe a couple months. And then the Abu Dhabi storm happened where it was like, we're doing everything in Fight Island. And he was like, hey, come out. Do you want to come out with me? And stay for like 5 weeks. It'll be like a 5-6 week trip. But you'll come out. We're going to corner Brandon, Luigi, and then Yusuf and Jonathan were out there, and James Krause, 5 fights.
Oh, Krause. Yeah.
And
bless up.
Yeah. And money though. And man, we so we planned for that. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do that. And so I go out there with him, and man, that was a transformative trip. It was, for one, it was awesome. It was awesome getting close. Like me and Brandon, super tight now. That's my dog. And then me and Coach got super close also, and put me under what we were doing. I mean, we were training like we were in camp. Where we were doing like 2 technique sessions a day, and then like weightlifting every day. And we were just doing that like as if we were in like, you know, we were in quarantine. Is what we were. Right. So we were just grinding out. But he started started transforming my game to where everything I was doing, and I still have a habit of doing sometimes, but I was always so, as he told me, like the way you're moving is like you're constantly in a state of fight or flight. There's never a moment where you're resetting and you don't have the motion in the way you move to like release the tension. So I'm always kind of like springing, almost like energized McGregor is kind of how I was moving sometimes. And I would spring in. I had success at that, you know. That's how I was fortunate to catch, you know, Dariush, and then I would just turn off the lights in the upstairs sometimes and just go. And that was kind of like the Mercier fight. And so it was like, man, if we can like control this and like move our feet essentially to get in, and we're not always just darting in, and then we start touching, and then we start trap setting. And trap setting was revolutionary for me, you know. My coach back home, Jason Arrington's genius grappler. Like, I mean, man's incredible, and he's got a good MMA eye. But we didn't have all the experience. I was the first one to be doing it, so I was kind of we were figuring it out on the go, you know. And it was good to have somebody who had kind of been through the fire and in the trenches for a bit, you know, and have a little bit more experience and just be around it. And so, man, he really transformed the way I moved.
Interesting.
Yeah. The way my blend came together. So then I started.
I like that.
Because I'm not great at, like, I'm not a specialist. You know, I don't know if I'm not the best at any one thing. But
you're an MMA fighter.
I'm fucking good. At it. Like everything. I am. But like, for me, putting it together sometimes is a problem. So he kind of helped me blend it all together well. So that way my takedowns can move in the same sequence as, like, you know, any one of my kicks or my hands, and you have intangibles, which is why I think he wanted you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have certain stuffs that you could say you're not a specialist or whatever, but you have shit that you can't teach. You know how you said you and what's his name is like dogs, you know, junkyard dog or whatever. No, the other guy he's gonna fight. I can't remember.
Algeo. Yeah.
You know, it's like you can't make someone a dog. They're either a fucking dog or they're not. So if you see a dog and he's athletic and fucking heady and chomping at the bit, and then you see just a tweak or this, man, we could make and that's, I think, why when you burst on the scene, there was a lot of danger there. I can't even describe it when I would watch you fight, because I didn't know you yet, but I said, this kid is there's danger here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, he might not have it all put together yet, but like, you don't exactly want to fight this guy. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of a stud here, you know? And so it's good to hear this shit, because it's like, if you think about even just jiu-jitsu, what separate, like, if you see a purple belt, or let's say a blue belt who's getting good, what's the difference between him and a black belt? Like, the black belt might be using a lot of the same techniques, but this motherfucker is calm, and he knows when to hold them and when to fold them. He's not... He sprints when he needs to, then he fucking relax, you know? And the other guys, the whole fucking chime in is hype. And he's almost like, sometimes the guy might have a very simple game, the black belt, but it's just he's in control of himself, and he can breathe, and he can see everything coming, you know? Whereas the other guy's in a fucking storm the whole time, you know?
Yeah, because sometimes, I mean, the simplicity of moves, you know, you don't always need this huge arsenal. Talking jiu-jitsu, or if you're easier for people to think about, like striking with like a D as a 1-2 or a Darren Till 1-2.
Dan Henderson.
You know what I mean?
Seriously,
Dan Henderson, he have a high hand like Popeye, and everyone knew it's coming. He's even doing this with it,
and it still lands.
Still fucking knocks out.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah, it's the veteran that knows the cadence, the patience, and the timing, you know, of everything. And dude, you're spot on though, because that's exactly what Mark goes for though. It's like, I want an athletic dog who I could groom. That's honestly, like, now that you say that, that's exactly what that he's looking for.
Well, and that makes sense, because honestly, that's who Royval is. He's a freaking dog. Anthony Smith is a freaking dog. Like, you can't kill him.
All the rest of the shit you can teach. You can't make someone into a dog. You just
can't. You can't. So here's the thing too, and here's the thing I remember is Jason House, your manager, who at the time was like, I remember talking to him about you, and maybe it was before the Cowboy fight, or maybe it was after the Cowboy fight, or something. It was around then.
But you gotta bring that shit up, God.
No, but I actually really like, Alexander, how you responded to that fight. Like
That's true.
You took it in stride, and you were respectful, and you were like, I learned a lesson, and like I actually love how you responded to that fight.
But you did.
My
That's
point,
true. That's true.
My point was just that I remember Jason. He's like, no, you don't understand. All Alexander does is train. He's like, he's got the ball hanging in the kitchen to bob and weave. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's like, he doesn't do anything except fighting. And I don't know if that's still the case, but I remember this a couple years ago that's like how he described you. So like, are you still obsessive about it? Is that all you do all day? Because he made it really sound like that.
Yeah, and man, at that time, for sure, like in the sense of like compulsively wandering around the house at like 2 a.m. and throwing spin kicks on Bob's bitch ass. Shit like that. Like, always, and especially, man, I've always trained, always loved training. Always like GSP with wanting to be just like a great martial artist and just really enjoying it. And then whenever I quit my job and went all in, it was like, all right, we're going like all in. And really I found out like, dude, you were already training quite a bit. Cause I'd do some kind of exercise in the morning, work, and then do the 3-hour block in the evening for at the gym. And so where normally it's like, striking and a grappling or something. And then in the morning, maybe if it wasn't a grappling thing, it'd be like a strength conditioning thing. But so, and I'm like, that's kind of what most of these guys are already doing anyway. So what I really just got was more time to recover and do like active recovery stuff and get on those kind of waves. But the training still went up another notch. And then whenever we broke through the scene, it was like, holy shit, we got this huge target on our back. Now we have a number next to our name. Yeah, we can't slow down. Like we just got to guns blaze and just train my little dick off. And so went nuts on that, dude.
I thought I read something about your D on the weight cut, but
that reminds me of Stevie from East Palestine with my little dick.
We love Stevie. Don't get us going on Eastbound and Down, Alex. Don't get us going.
But before I get on Eastbound and Down, I was just thinking of, it just dawned on me when you was talking about like what you said about him with the ball and doing all this shit. Like now you might be working just as hard, but you know what I'm thinking of? What Montoya put in your life? If you're doing the ball, you're killing yourself, getting prepared. It's almost like what you're doing is you're trying to focus on yourself. Mm-hmm. Montoya is getting you able to control other people. Like you said, now you're working on not just what am I doing, but like how do I manipulate that person?
Right, reading the other person, reading the situation.
How do I not just control myself, but how do I trap him? How do I set him up, see his tendencies? I think it's so important to be able to, in any sport, how do you not just you, how you manipulate somebody that you're in there with, and playing moves ahead and what are they doing? Seeing them, soaking them in, You
need to be a professional and expert pattern recognition. Recognition.
Yeah.
But that's what he always says. Like you need to be able to recognize patterns. And so that is definitely like, he also knows the guys he's got. So it's sometimes, hey, who do we need to rein back a little bit? Who do we need to kind of redirect focus? And who do we need to kind of chill out? Because I know they're just going to go. And most of the guys in the gym, like most of them, like damn well, like all of them, just go. We were always going and training.
Right.
That was one of the coolest things whenever I got here. And I was like freaking out, telling my coaches and girl and everybody, I'm like, it's so fun, cool. I'll go in this gym. Because I'm always in the gym. So I was like, I'll go in the gym at like any random time in the afternoon. We got a big morning block practice. There's classes in the evening. The afternoon's kind of like self-serve. I'll go in there, even when I'm doing a private, and get some work, do some drills, do something I'm working on. And there's always somebody in there. And there's always a pair of people getting some work in there. But I was like, there's always somebody in this bitch. Every time I come in there's always some dudes training. One of the things that sold me on this gym too was when I first came in, Brandon had a similar story to me, which is a lot of shit we have is similar, which is why we're boys. But he came in, had Tim Elliott on short notice, and all of a sudden he's got numbered by his name. He also went against the 10 guy on his debut, like me. So
Tim's a dog.
I came in the Monday after he had that fight on Saturday, and I'm in there, and I didn't know him. I've been a pretty shitty fan for a while. I only really started watching it more UFC since I've lived here.
Oh, yeah? I know a couple guys like that.
I know Derek went to fight him, which is why I did so well. I had no idea who he was.
Funny.
So it was
Interesting. That helps.
It does. Yeah, you're not
I
intimidated
know
by.
Because he don't look scary. He
Right.
don't physically look scary. He looks soft. And so maybe that helped the yeah, you don't want to see
No,
somebody.
yeah, and I started watching a little bit before, and I
Yeah.
was like, turn that shit off. Turn that
Yeah,
shit
get
off.
that out of here.
And then I could go back to the simplicity of the eye test. And whenever I looked at this at weigh-ins, I was like, there's no way he can do what I can do. There's no
I'm
way he
letting
can
that
move
guy
like
do
I
it.
can move. There's no fucking way that body can move like I can move. And I believe
I know
enough to-
exactly what you're talking about, my brother.
Yeah.
I used to have to fake it till I made it in I remember when I got to a certain point in jiu-jitsu, I was killing everybody, but then my main teachers, if I would go with them, I would turn into like a, just a punching bag, a crash test dummy or
Right.
whatever,
Succumb to him.
And I realized did I go away or you guys went away?
No, we're here.
Oh, something you guys refreshed. Anyway.
Okay.
And I realized I have too much respect for these guys. I'm building them up to be a fucking mythical creatures or whatever. So I would I remember watching this movie. You ever seen the documentary about the 1980 hockey team, Olympic hockey team?
Miracle on Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what the coach would do is he started comparing those players, like the captain of the team. He said he looked like Stan Laurel from Laurel and Hardy. And he go, look at this goofy motherfucker, And he started getting them to break it down and break them down the mystique. So I would just look, I go, if I was in a bar, I'd stop this guy's brains in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so I started to do better and better. It's like you have to deconstruct these fucking people, or else you can
1,000%.
get stuck in the fucking
It's so
mystique.
easy to put them on pedestals.
Oh,
And your professors,
and-
rightfully
yeah.
so, but just anybody.
Of course, but you gotta try. You can't tell them that you're deconstructing that once, but in your mind, you know what I'm saying? After you're always respectful, but in your mind, you're going, "I'll fucking take this fucking Mexican American, Eddie Bravo or something like that." You go, "Look at this guy. He think he's in Limp Bizkit or whatever."
Dude,
You know?
I
Right.
fucking wish I could say some shit like that, bro. My fucking professor, I hope we all run into each other at some point so we can all see each other in person. But, bro, this son of a bitch is like 240. He looks like a fucking bear. Bro, he would vandalize me, bro. He would vandalize
Well, see,
me.
that's a different situation. That's like your dad or something. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing. What are you
bro.
gonna do?
Bro, and this dude sleepwalks. this dude, like, bro, you don't have him in the hotel room. So we used to go on these roads. I mean, this is my guys from back when, right? Forever. We've always been together.
Yeah.
And when I moved, I was like, you guys are coming with me. I'm not just moving. So Jason and my boy John O'Rourke, Handjob is his name because he's rapping. So his name's Handjob. Fucking
I like that.
Ozzy over at the PI loved that shit, or the equipment room fucking loved Handjob. So for obvious reasons. So they would come and go with us. We'd be driving in South Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, like just that whole region, right? And we go on the road. I get my room, and I get Handjob and Jason a room. And Jason, these guys would get on the road, and everybody's like, fucking munchy hangout season. You pick up a case of Miller's for the drive. We got Jason's kryptonized red velvet cake. Everyone's having a good fucking time, but me. I'm getting ready for a fucking fight.
Right.
So I get my room, but we'd always make jokes in the morning about Jason getting a little turned up on some red velvet, maybe a joint, a couple of Millers, and then he start getting the sleepwalk that like zombie was like, starts talking, and then John's there. He's a light sleeper, so he starts kind of hearing him and he's getting nervous, of course, because this is a big.
I would be true,
dude. And he gets up, he'll walk over, he'll just grab a handful of cake, eat it, kind of wander around. You ever see Step Brothers?
Yes.
Yeah. And they walk in, and and they're throwing the pillow. It's like that. And so he's walking, kind of moving pillows, and he makes his way back. But we've always had the what if, and we're like, hey, where's John at? Where's Handjob? And he's there in the bathroom, just putting lipstick on.
Yeah, he got no choice. What he's gonna do?
Just feeling degraded because Jason doesn't remember it, but he just
Jason's gonna put some of that head velvet to make the lips to look extra juicy. Put that head velvet on there. Oh, caralho.
But there's always a liability being on the road with him. But God bless him though, good people, good energy. But yeah, you want to be careful.
I believe it,
especially with the cake out.
Oh yeah, no, I learned the hard way. Some of those guys, man, you gotta stay away from some of these fucking guys.
Yeah, you gotta know a man's treated. Keep it full.
And I know we do need to let him go soon, Hanato. He stayed a lot longer than we thought he was going to.
Let me say this though, real quick, because we kind of got away from it. But no, I don't. I'm much more mature and intelligent with my approach now. So like I don't just go in and just beat balls up at all hours of the night and fucking linger in the gym, endlessly. Now it's like I know what I know now. Before I didn't know anything, and I try to compensate. Now it's like I've been through the ringer now, and I've run my head so hard into the wall so many times that I'm like, dude, that's obviously not always the response.
Yeah.
Like I've killed myself in training to get my conditioning to a certain degree, just to feel like I'm gassed out halfway through the fight. And so it's like, man, that's not the root. That's not the root of the evil. That's not the root of what's gonna make the correction or what's failing you in the fight. So started narrowing quantity to quality and started working more efficiently. Started finding what's effective. Yeah. And then figuring out for myself, but also like whenever I'm not in camp, I'm trying to be the best martial artist in the world. I'm doing honestly, I'm training mad hours. I'm probably doing like 3 sessions a day, but they're not all like kill yourself sessions. But I'm just like I'm studying nonstop. Like I've got all these seminar videos. I've bootlegged.
You're absorbing this shit,
right?
Marinating yourself.
Dude, I'm spending like an hour a day or so studying, and I go drill, and then I'll like teach a class and go with those guys. And
that's it.
Yeah, and do some
teaching helps so much.
Nothing helps like teaching.
Teaching.
You learn so much.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, because just some of the stuff that you hear fighters say sometimes is when they lost, it's that they beat themselves, right? That it wasn't the opponent that night. It was that they beat themselves, and that just some stuff leading up to this fight that I've read of you talking about is that you are, you get pretty. It sounds like you get pretty frustrated with yourself. It sounds like you're pretty hard on yourself when you don't, live up to your own expectations. I'm very much like that as well. But now that you figured out the physical side of when do I push, when do I not, how much is too much. But has the mental part been like a thing that when you figure that part out too, like you're really seeing it come together? Because being so obsessive about your sport, and obviously is going to be great, but it can be a problem. It can be too much, right? It can be detrimental to everything. So have you been able to figure out like the mental balance too with the physical part?
Yeah, up until recently, I probably couldn't say I had, but I think, I feel like I have. And like you're saying, people, that was the thing back in San Antonio. They're always like, dude, you should probably just do something else to like separate some and like, have some fun. And I'm like, I don't like to do shit, dude. I like to kick it with the boys. I like to hang out. I like to fucking smoke weed, kick it, drink sometimes. It's time to drink. Like, I like to fucking chill. Because I'm training all the time. Like, what else do I want to do? And I'm not an adrenaline junkie, dude. I'm not like that
chill
shit.
The fuck out.
Like,
you're getting that all taken care of in your other
extreme shit. Yeah. I got that extreme shit. I want to fucking chill. I want to chill so fucking hard. I love chilling hard. Yeah. I love like hanging out like family, friends and stuff, going, traveling, doing things like that. But otherwise, if you're just like at home, it's like, well, dude, we don't got to go do some other new shit, And so there's nothing I ever cared to do, or I even had energy to do. And so separating was never really a thing, and it's still not a thing. I don't want to. Like I'm saying, whenever I'm not getting ready for a fight, I'm just trying to be the best. Like, I'm just trying to absorb as much as I can, get as good as I can, pick up new shit, and just train like a madman. But now what I've realized is I would carry that on for too long. Now when I get a fight, it's simple. I just got to go win a fight. I don't got to be the best martial artist. I got to go get a W. And I never like put that together as well before. I would just keep going too hard. Like, I got to get this better. I got to get that better. I got to get. It's like, no.
Perfectionist.
Yeah. No, it's like you got like, man, again, going back to a few tools. I only need a few tools to win this fight. And I got to make sure that those tools are constantly in action, and I'm not letting him get his tools. And when he gets his tools going, I'm not going to go on a fucking bit for bit fight with his tool set. I'm going to reset it and get back to my tool set. And that's what I started doing in the Miller fight. And I hadn't done that before. The reason I lost the Billy Q fight was because I'm smoking with what I'm doing, but I let the chaos overrun, and I just let the fight become just that, a fight, instead of my own order. I started realizing that, man, the fight's it's really not even a scary thought or a chaotic thought. If you have your game organized, you know where you want to keep it, and you've made certain agreements of how you're going to fight. Like, even if you're fighting off your back, it's like there's always agreements to how to proceed. The problem is think about jiu-jitsu. There's agreements the whole time. Like, you don't have to engage in every battle. Even if it feels like they're imposing, you don't have to engage there. You can make agreements on
Absolutely.
how you want to engage and when you want to engage.
Yeah.
And man,
And you gotta know what you gotta know what your fucking strength and your deficiencies is, you know, or where you have the best. Like for instance, a guy who's fucking buff and strong football player, I don't even bother armbarring that guy. I'm gonna try to choke him somehow, you know. I don't need to fuck around with that.
The arm in a way. It's
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna waste my fucking time doing that, and the percentage is like that, you know. It's
But again, that's all stuff that you learned by being here, right? And you learn it.
Yeah.
I'm a slow learner, man. I'm a slow learner. I'm late developer,
For
late
sure.
bloomer. I've always been a late bloomer.
But to your credit, I gotta say, like, I've heard you in some interviews in the past, a while back, where, like, a lot of people who have some slip ups or whatever, they're gonna blame it on this, that, and the other thing. Oh, I was in the hunt camp, or oh, I got injured, or whatever. I heard you say a couple things that was like, yeah, I had some technique deficiencies or whatever.
I messed
you know,
up,
it
yeah.
was you was just saying like, oh, I got some shit I gotta learn and stuff like that. I was like, that's at least a high fucking attitude, you know, like not being delusional about yourself. Like I don't know, you know, however guys try to delude themselves like I'm the best in the world, but I just had an off night or whatever. No, it was because I needed to learn some shit, you know?
Yeah, and I've always been honest and even transparent at a detriment, I'd say at times. I probably should shut the fuck up, but
Wow.
yeah,
You are who you are, though, you know?
Yeah, that's it. You gotta keep it real. But I think the mental shift happened in that fight because it was the first time I'd ever seen just black and white. Like, dude, this shit's a decision. You hear guys who win a lot, like Joe Warren is one of our wrestling coaches, and he'd always say, "This shit's a decision." You know, this is just a decision. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You think I don't want to win this fight? Shut the fuck up. You know, it never resonated on the level and needed to actually mean something for me. And after that fight, I was like, no, it is a decision. Like
This is when it's a decision. Yeah.
Right.
I felt it
Yeah.
slip. This is a decision.
Yeah.
And so I had such a fire in me. I wanted so bad. I need to like. It wasn't past the point of just like feeling sorry for yourself and man, you suck. I gotta fix this. It was like, no, we finally kind of hit on the head. Went through that period, hit on the head, and now let's go make things right. And I was just hitting my manager, who's open this week? Who's open this week? Who's open this week? Nice. And he's like, Miller, 10 days. And I'm like, dude, fuck it, let's bite on that.
And that's a crafty son of a bitch. I know that guy.
Man,
He's crafty.
I know, Jim's great.
We were talking delusions, right?
Yeah.
I had this idea. I was like, okay, let's go fight this motherfucker. And I've known better. I'm not like, I know better than to like look over everybody at this point or even call anybody old. I know better than that. That. So, but you're still gonna have these thoughts where it's like, nah. I'm too clean, too quick. I'm got more technical. I'm telling myself, all these things. And I'm like, I'm gonna beat this dude's, everything. You're like, I'm gonna beat this dude's ass. I'm getting hyped up for it, And not just that. I'm gonna show myself something. Realistically, it was more of that. It wasn't even so much of like I'm gonna beat Jim. It was more of like, dude, you're gonna go defeat that doubt in yourself. And you're
make myself proud.
Yeah, because you got a lot to prove to yourself. You're gonna make things right. So it wasn't even about realistically, it wasn't about you.
Yeah.
But going out there, I got all this confidence. I got this idea of me, and I got this idea of Jim, and I know he's gonna be bigger. I just came out that 45. I feel like we were actually pretty. He's probably denser than I am for sure, but
a little thicker,
Yeah, I was coming off the 45s. I knew I could make it short, but I had an idea of how I wanted to approach the fight, given his size, and but I had a good image of myself, right? And we're standing there as we're about to walk out, and I always hate this shit. So you guys stand there and watch the fucking trailer for your own shit coming up.
Totally.
Like I don't even want to see this shit, right? And I watch the other guy, and I'm watching his highlight reel, and I'm like,
not good.
Damn, that was pretty clean.
The most wins in the UFC lightweight division. He's been here forever. He's going to fight all the way up to UFC 300. He's an effing legend. It's like, goddamn, yeah.
Yes. And his last, like, the way it closed out was him throwing this body kick. There's this combo to a body kick on Cerrone. The second he slumps, he jumps a guillotine and finishes it. And I was like, that's dirty shit. I've seen, I guess, like, boom, boom, slumps it with a kick. And then as he's folding, jumps a guillotine. And I was like, fuck, this might be a fight, dude.
Well, maybe it was good that you saw that. Maybe it was good that you saw that. Wake you, throw some cold water in your face a little bit,
Yeah, good point. Touché,
oh, shit. Is
it is I think you're breaking up a little bit, Alex, but
For some,
I know it sounds like there's a gremlin in here now.
what do you think is that? What do you think? You think that's Alex?
I don't know. There's a little bit of a gremlin. That might
Is
just
he
be.
is he frozen? Oh
no,
he's
he's not frozen. He's not frozen. I just hear some weird sounds.
You want me to try that?
Interference.
Yeah, wait.
You know what sometimes does it? Go through airplane mode and then come back out of airplane mode.
Okay, or because I was gonna say when he comes back anyway, we need to wrap it up with him because it is late for him because he's in
I'll
Colorado.
hap it up with you if you're not careful.
You wish.
Oh no, I won't hap it up.
You won't wrap
for
it
you.
up. You won't wrap it up.
I'll give it to you hard.
Kepsta, to let you know, he's fighting at 45. This one is at 45.
Yeah, 45.
Again. Yeah. You there? There we go. Yeah, you're back.
Ah shit! It's always the
Oh,
fucking.
I know it's glitchy.
God damn it! And this just started too. It's like.
I know.
Now it's getting really fucked up. Wait, hold on. Oh no.
Are you there?
He's good at staying still. Look at that.
I know.
Look at the stillness. He learned that from Manchoya. Look at how still. That looked like a headshot. That looked like a.
I mean, it looks good. That's what I'm saying. Here, pose for a second. We can use this for the thumbnail. Okay, cool. No, shoot. We need him back.
He looked like he's modeling. He looked like he's
I know,
modeling
he
for
looks
J.
so
J.
good.
Crew.
He's all
J.
like,
Crew, Tommy Hilfiger.
I mean,
That's Tommy Hilfiger cologne.
dang it. Wait, let me see if I can remove him and then add him back. Okay. Let's see.
Fingers crossed.
I know.
Uh-oh.
And we were just, I know we need to wrap
Now
it up
he's in
soon
the-
anyway. Oh, dang it.
Hello.
Okay.
Wait,
Hi,
I
you're
went
here.
away for in real life. I went away. I was in purgatory. Wait, how you did that? I was in the
Shoot,
outer space.
I know. I need him to come back so we can say goodbye.
Yeah, we have to say goodbye, Hernandez.
I feel bad because, like I said, I know he's
That's Hercules Hernandez.
He's got to go. You know, it is. I wanted us to at least have
I had one
proper
more
goodbye.
I had one more fucking question though. Oh well.
I'm sure. I wanted to get a proper goodbye, but I don't know what
I'll tell you
happened.
what. In case we never see him again, ever in life,
Well, I'll see him next weekend, so I'm sure I'll see him.
wow, okay, but he was a pleasure to hang out with here. You know, he was I like this kid.
I know he's
You know?
great.
I mean, I like him as a fighter already, but I liked him as a person too. You know, like he'll have a good personality.
Yeah, well, he does. Like I said, he is great. I know that's his nickname as well. And like I said, I had hung out with him in San Antonio with Walt and Eric and the guys, and he's totally cool.
Did you guys get faded, or you was keeping it nice and spring
we had
water?
a few drinks. It was late. It was actually kind of a cool place. It was like a roof at this place. We were outside. It was
Wait, this
nice.
was in San Antonio?
Yeah.
You know, I never been to San Antonio. What is it like over there? Is it fun? I mean, what do I need to? No, okay, it's not. Because you know why Charles Barkley always complained? He goes, "Oh no, I don't want to go to San Antonio." He said the women is chunky over there.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't looking for girls.
He
But
said
here's
the
thing.
women was obese, like Vinny Mongo.
I don't know. I went to the Alamo. I walked by the Alamo. There's this whole area downtown
The
where
Ali
there's
Mall.
remember the Alamo from the
But it
whole-
sounded like you said the Olive. I thought you said the Olive Mall. Oh, I thought you was gonna say I went to the Olive Garden.
the Olive Garden.
I went to the Olive Garden.
So there's an area where you like walk around and there's
The
water-
River Walk. The
river walk exactly, which is pretty. But
Wait.
if I'm honest, I'm not the biggest fan
not
of
the best.
Texas.
Well, no. Well, okay, but Texas is so big. It's vastly different in different places. Dallas
Yes.
is different than Houston. Houston is different than Austin. I mean, it's very different. It's not all the same.
Right. I'm sad. I'm sorry. I'm still sad that he went away and we didn't get to see.
I'm sad too, but what I'm supposed to do? I gotta make I gotta make hay while the sun shines.
I know you can. Let me send him a message on IG and just tell him to come back and say goodbye if he can.
I didn't want to say goodbye to him in the first place.
I know, but he has to
ushering
go.
him off and telling him he had to go.
Let me see. Can you come back? to
You know what?
say.
You ever seen the movie Cloak and Dagger with Dabney Coleman and the kid?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
You remember? That's in San Antonio now when they have like where he meet with the old people that want to steal the microchip or whatever.
I don't remember the movie.
Is there anybody? People would have to be so old to know.
That's
this
what I'm
one.
saying.
Is
It's not
there
like
anybody-
Dabney Coleman. If we're talking
Is there
Dabney
any
Coleman.
Jack Flack always escapes. But wait, does anybody?
By the way,
in the-
this guy's saying we're wrong for using that shot.
You got. Hey, look, we're using.
I'm
what they
100%
gave us.
using it though because you don't understand how much of a pain in the butt it is for me
to
every
find
week
all
to
three
find
people,
places.
yeah, where someone else is not like this.
That's what I'm saying. So half the time it's like 3 different pictures or
Yeah.
this or that, or
And
like you and I look
great and
okay, but
everybody
whatever.
else is.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know. A lot of times I sacrifice myself if I have one and everybody else look good. I don't mind being mid sentence.
Well, and I always feel bad if I make them because that's the whole thing is especially like on Insta if you're doing a thing you're like God dang it,
Yeah.
we don't all look good. I don't know what to do here.
I search for ones where your cleavage is jammy now because I figure if
That
nothing
makes
else.
sense. Yeah, even if
nothing
my
else is
face
gonna
is effed up, if the titties are good, then go with titties. Titties over everything, always, and that's like
Titties
a
is always
general.
a showstopper. On a starter, it start stuff too.
Well, whether or
Well,
not he
I
comes
guess we're
back or
never
not,
gonna-
Alexander is a cool dude, and
Yeah, it was a
I'm really
pleasure to have him
honestly
on.
expecting a really great fight with him and Bill. I'm
Well-
not even kidding. Like when Bill came in and fought my buddy Ricardo, and I was like, this son of a gun.
Yeah, he got.
It was like we're supposed to just be Ricardo's like easy walk away retirement fight, and it was not.
And that's how that goes. You know, no fight is easy on the UFC.
Right.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, he's. We missed out on asking him about his Schwanzenstück. In the
There
weight
was
cut
a story,
incident.
yes, about him
I
and
wanted
his
to find out
Johnson
what
not
happened.
working so well.
In the weight cut. But you know what? Okay, so if he's listening, maybe he's watching but can't get on or something like that. So
Yeah.
my theory about this is I looked it up. You know that your blood is 92% water?
I did not know that.
So think about this. If your blood is 92% water and you're dehydrating yourself, and the reason why you, your schwanz gets big in the first place is because the blood.
The blood flow, right?
You know, it's gonna make the water. It's like a piece of jar. It's a jockey. It's like a piece of Jack Link. Jack stinks.
For those who don't know, there was an article that Alex mentioned the last time he cut to 45. His Alex Jr. wasn't working so well. Or I don't know if he's Alex Jr. He's going to make Alex Jr. Whatever his
the not so great ape. What's the opposite of great? What's not great? Like the something. Anyway,
Anyway, what a good dude! I'm really glad he was able to join us. And like I said,
Me too,
I've gotten
me
to hang
too.
out with him a little bit, and it's cool that the intensity that he had before of like the all or nothing studying all the time.
Yeah.
It's cool that that's been tempered a little bit now that he's got more experience and he
Yeah.
can like streamline the studying and the
absolutely.
yeah.
You can tell because you can also tell he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
People, listen, fair enough. Not everybody have the same intelligence. And if you
For
have
sure.
doggies,
No, he's a smart kid.
you know, there's smart doggies and there's dumb doggies and there's everything in between. And you know, he's smart and you
Yeah.
can tell. And I tell you what, this kid from just talking to him, he have the charisma, the smarts, and the looks. He can also have one day a career in fucking analyzing or,
right.
or commentating, whatever the fuck. The sky's the limit for this
You're right.
fucking kid. You know,
You're right.
So,
Yeah, I like him. I'm a fan. Obviously, I really like Mark Montoya. So I'm excited. But
And
yeah,
the fact that he and Royval is
that's what I was
two
just
pieces
going to
apart,
say. Our boy,
because
Raw Dog.
if he and Royval, because you know Royval is cool, you know.
Yeah.
So those two together, I can imagine is a fucking. Imagine the two of those fucking clowns in the back of class talking shit,
Totally.
and giggling and shit. You know.
I'll have to ask Anthony of how many times Montoya's like, pipe down.
Like, will you
know?
two shut the fuck up?
Exactly.
I can only imagine Royval is like a sneaky. He's like a little Haskell, you know.
Yeah. It's crazy. Okay, before we move on to some other stuff, Heavyweight or Bandom is saying you guys were going to spin back around to the Scarface story. I don't know if that's because we were talking about Pacino, and we were talking about. Oh wait! Oh, I think he's back. Oh, he's back. He's back. He's back. Okay. Did you?
Okay.
Wait a second.
Okay.
Could you hear us or no?
No. I was out of it.
Oh,
No.
we was talking about you anyway. We
were just saying
was doing your obituary basically. It was like, wow, he was nice, but he's gone.
No. We were just saying. I know we need to wrap it up, but both of us were just saying like we love you and Brandon Royval together as like a tag team of like whatever, and we were just curious how many times does Montoya have to be like pipe down, you guys? Like
Yeah, you two.
I
Shut
feel
the
like
fuck up.
Oh yeah. No, we do have a couple little gossip girls on the side, so we do.
I can only imagine. That's what we were saying. What happened?
No, I've got this.
Oh, the light?
This fucking plant. Yeah, I didn't. Thought I had a little.
That's
spikes up my head.
mistletoe. That's like mistletoe or whatever.
Oh, you're round, Daddy. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I got the setup out here.
well, Hanato, if there's anything you need to say or ask him, do it now
Well,
before we get.
were talking about this because she brought to my attention that you said that there was an unfortunate accident that happened where you was doing a weight cut and your Schwanzenstück was less than impressive. Wasn't as great as the great apes of the past or whatever, you know.
The libido was in question. That thing. Yeah.
So is the libido but my theory is this, okay? If you're cutting too much weight, okay? Did you know that your dick is 92% water? Or no, blood. Your blood is 92% water.
Okay, because I believe the water thing too sometimes.
Well, think about it. If your dick is 92, your blood is 92% water, and the only thing making your dick big is fucking blood, then all the fucking water is gone. All you're dealing with is like some head paint or whatever, some head paint chips or whatever, and that's not enough to make your schwanz to be strong.
Oh, that's a fact. If that body percent gets low enough, and that was the thing. I was just too low for too long. But that thing is low enough for long enough, and you're like, I mean, you try to ejaculate. It's like a 12-year-old pre-cum. It's like for the first time, but without the sensations of it, you're disappointed. Instead of being like,
I remember those days.
It's not a full-fledged.
No,
Listen,
it's very, very soft.
I didn't know how good I had it back then. You know, Karyn Bryant, I don't know if you ever thought of this, but guys like me, I was a precocious masturbator. I discovered that one at my grandma's house at 9 years old, okay? So I did that, and here's the thing. It's the same shit that happens now, but nothing comes out.
Oh, yeah.
So you feel the same feeling, but nothing come out. And back then, you was like,
Look at you, Curious George. Look at you.
Yeah.
I mean, I got my hips on a few things, at a young age. But, man, to full
I'll never forget it.
Completely.
I'll never forget
because like at 9 years old.
Because the water was hitting my joint. It was hitting the head. It was hitting the head. You know the part. That part.
The old bathtub wax.
That's Karen's favorite part, the head. So I was hitting the head, and I said, "What God are you?" I said, "I don't mind if I do." And I enjoyed that one. I'll tell you what, though. What was funny. Afterwards, I felt guilty for whatever reason, and I was like, no one must know about this.
No one can clean themselves here ever again.
No one must know about this. And back then, I was like, Carayo, I want to be a human. Like when you're a kid, you want to shave like your daddy. I thought, Carayo, I wish something would came out. I'm supposed to be a human, something, and nothing come out. Now, I wish you would go back to that Chinese. Something's not going to come out. Imagine what a gift that would be.
What a gift.
I wouldn't be in the bind that I'm in now.
With all the child support.
And fall off by now, but you would have zero
Well,
offspring.
funny enough, my Johnson have some properties of purple and magenta. Yeah, it has some of that like crimson. Yeah. Yeah. He's gorgeous. If I do say so myself.
And yet, Alex, you were willing to go back down to 45 again.
Yeah,
it's worth it, Caray.
Yeah, it's yeah. It is.
You're not supposed to be doing that before a fight anyway, right? All the boxers say they don't have sex; it takes away your legs.
That's an old wives' tale.
I think the week of bear your seeds so that they may fruit. you know.
Yeah,
accordingly.
plant your seed,
Yeah.
but just don't do it the same day
Yeah.
because you get tired.
Yeah,
You know
not
what
the
I mean?
same day, but I would think
Yeah.
it actually
Well, no,
would
definitely not the
reinforce
same
your
day. Definitely not the
testosterone
same
during
day
the
with
week.
those fucking droopy lids as you're walking into the,
Oh,
the
yeah.
apex. You're not-
I get tired.
No.
I feel like I ate Thanksgiving dinner. You know what I mean? Like I'm just
Dude,
like,
I'd
I need that.
Dude, I'd walk into that apex with a cigarette in my mouth. Okay, I'd probably be, it's like the day's done. I'd come in there.
Yeah.
I'd have a.
You don't
Yeah,
care about
no
nothing.
motivation.
Yeah, you don't care about shit anymore. That's
Yeah.
that's why I can't do it in the middle of the day. At least, I mean, if I got nothing to do, whatever. But if you have shit to do, there's no jerking off, and you really got to be careful with
But
the other
you need
stuff.
the drive.
too.
You need the drive.
Yeah, you need to have something to want to go after or something. Yeah.
No, yeah. So I've been hard all camp. I've been pretty ripe and ready. So
Well,
that's not, you can't be that all the time. You got to ebb and flow. Time for pounds.
we're glad for that. I'm
Activity.
sure your girl Alex is glad for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, think of
but
your girl.
You gotta be greedy. You gotta be greedy.
Yeah.
But honestly, you should, I would think that there is, all kidding aside, there's something about restricting your pleasure, restricting things, like getting you in fight mode. Like, are you a guy that the switch flips during fight? Like, when does it switch? Does it switch when you're making the walkout? Does it switch when you're making the weight cut? Does it switch when you land in Vegas or wherever it is the fight is happening? Like, when do you go from like nice guy Alex to like a-hole, a fighter?
Nefarious asshole. I've always been an asshole over here. Notoriously known for, being a dick. But I don't think I have a good. How people are like flick the switch or hit that shit, hit that switch and get hard, dude. I don't do that. So it's like when guys are walking out, they're like, that's when I know. Dude, if I'm not feeling it, like in the back, I'm not gonna be fucking feeling it in the cage either. I'm just gonna be faking the whole process. But there's no switch flick for me. I want it, and that's sometimes because you get tired and you get hungry and your brain plays tricks on you. That kind of ebbs and flows, and you just gotta be cool when it's not all there, and then appreciate when it is there, but stay somewhere in the middle. And if you can kind of keep that mid optimism, bordering on like some enthusiasm, and a little bit of excitement, man, if I could just keep that flow right into the ring, I'm good to go, and then and then the rest of it's, man, don't take it personal. So you ain't got to be mean if you're not taking it personal. You know what I'm saying?
That's the hardest part. That's why street fights is so hard to be good, because almost every street fight is fucking emotional. You know what I mean? It's because you got into an angry situation. It's so hard not to take it. And as soon as somebody punch you in your face, it's so hard not to take it personal. Because you go like this. Oh shit! Like how the?
Well, dude, especially when it's different. Because in the street, it's like, well, why the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
Like when someone escalates it, like takes from 0 to 6, they punch you before, and you wait. Oh, you're like, but I'm me. I'm like, how? Why you did that? I'm me.
Yeah. You're over there with your fucking blueberry scone. You just get socked. You get socked with that chiseled chin of yours, dude.
Come on, like, well, how? What? A lot of people, like my mom says, I'm a great guy. You just
I've done nothing. I've done nothing wrong.
And then you get angry. Then you go, oh, you fucking.
Yeah.
Here comes the Hulk.
Yeah, the Hulk.
Well, listen, I'm excited that at least we get to see you in a measured, situation next Saturday. Well, I'm just saying.
We're still talking about his Schwanson.
Schwanz.
We were.
He's talking about his Schwanson.
It was fucked up, man. Somehow dick on.
Yeah.
Always talking about my dick in every interview, and I was like, man, that's gonna be interview for that doesn't come up. I'm not even gonna mention.
You on the home show, it's always gonna come up.
The whole point is it coming up, Alex? That's the whole point. Is it coming up?
That's that.
It's coming up now.
Yeah.
Montoya taught him how to bring his Schwanz to the. He gave you ginseng hoot. Got on you. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
All
Listen,
right, I think I need to bounce on those notes.
I was
okay. Yeah.
We gotta let you go.
We had too long enough for her.
I'm excited to see you. I'm working your fight next week against Bill Algeo. Guys, listen, if you missed any of the earlier part with Alexander, you need to go back and check it out. But we do really appreciate you being here, and thank you for coming back to say goodbye after the glitch. But listen, you're great. I knew you'd be great. Your nicknames are great, but I knew you'd be great here with us. I really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight.
Man, y'all are a ton of fun, dude. That was awesome.
Yeah, my brother, it was a
I look
pleasure.
forward to seeing y'all. When are you gonna be in Vegas next? You guys won't be out for the fight, will you?
I will be. Yeah, I'm there.
She will be. I won't be, but in the future, I'm sure I'll be again.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll be hooting for you and stay in touch on the Instagram and shit like that. You know, and you never know where your Uncle Hanato can be creeping around in there out there in Colorado or whatever. I'm gonna be with Deion Sanders.
You get those foothills, boy. You know who to call.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
That sounds good. We're gonna hang out with some guys, play hacky sack, and smoke salvia. We're gonna smoke salvia. Yeah, and there you go. And some white women with dreadlocks.
And Sanhagen and all the white girls. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, Alex. We'll see you next weekend.
All right, we'll see you.
Bye.
Ciao.
I mean, what a good dude.
He's all right. You know what? And he had his back to come back on and to you know,
but
to
what
not
I was
leave us
saying,
hanging.
What I really liked about him is, like I said, you know, and we kind of touched on it, but before, you know, leading into that fight with Cowboy, a lot of stuff had been going great for Alex, and he was riding really high, and he was, you know, he was a real confident guy, and he realized after the fight with Cowboy that he was like, oh, maybe I was too much, maybe I was this, maybe I was that, and my point on that was just like, it was cool to see somebody who, you know, showed some humility, who was like, yeah, I learned a lesson in front of some people. I'm not afraid or embarrassed to admit it. Like, he's always been, like you were saying, he's a smart guy. He's always had like a real smart approach, and I've just respected him.
He's honest with himself. You know what I mean? Like, you can bullshit other people, but it only takes you so far to bullshit yourself. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, he discovered that, okay, you know, that shit wasn't working like that. But you know what? You know what another thing is true? I can't blame him. It's like, I think what happens is, okay, so he eventually had to admit that he has some deficiency. There was some stuff he needed to learn. But before that, when you're having so much success, you just think to yourself, fuck all those thoughts. I need to just believe in myself, and it's been working. You know what I mean? So you just say, fuck that. That's the bullshit. I'm not listening to that. Let's go. And you can't blame a guy for just wanting to big himself up so that he can believe in himself. You know, sometimes it's just, it sounds cocky, but it's really, I need to tell myself this, or else I'm going to go in there and be like, oh shit, I'm going to get punched and kicked in the face. You know, you need to tell yourself some kind of fairy tale to be able to even step foot in that fucking shit, you know?
It's a crazy job.
Yeah.
You're willingly walking to get beat up.
Or also it's a heavy thing to beat the living shit out of somebody.
Or exactly. Even if you're the most confident guy, you're like, yeah, I'm about to go put the hurt on somebody. That's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah. It's like, even in real life, you're mad at somebody and you get into a street fight, and it feels like the high thing then. And then after it's over, then when you turn into a normal person, you go, oh, I just hurt another fucking person. You know what I mean? Like, and you think that you wouldn't care because the guy's an asshole or whatever. But at the end of the day, everybody is somebody's kid. Everybody is somebody's dad. Everybody is, you know, like some of the same songs you like or the same movie, you know, and when you're not in that Hulk bloodthirsty, you just realize you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah, and you're embarrassed about yourself. You're like, I wish I didn't.
You can see sometimes some people beat the shit out of some people in there, and you can see something, especially when somebody end up hurt or whatever, and they feel sick, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Like you said, like, I don't want to see somebody get fucking hurt, you know?
Right. Well, and anyway, he's a good dude. He's fighting next weekend, and I am excited to see it. I am curious, Hanato, what you thought on Saturday when Gamrot defeated Fiziev. Now, we know that there was an injury to Fiziev, which sucks.
It does suck. It does suck because that, first of all, that was such a high level fight, you know.
I know.
And it was so kind of even. And Gamrot was doing great on the feet.
I love Gamrot.
Mitchell, and I look, I like Fiziev, but I don't
I
know.
was just gonna say nothing against Fiziev either.
I don't know why, but I was rooting for Gamrot. To be honest, I have no idea why, because I don't know the guy. I don't know either of them, and for some reason, I found myself rooting for Gamrot. But it was a great fight, and then you know what's funny is I didn't understand at first until he played it a bunch of times that it was his left leg that was fucked up.
Right.
I thought he fucked it up on the arms, hitting
right, because he
against.
kicked Gamrot's knee, and you think
so,
it's
at
the
the
kicking
time,
leg.
I thought, well, hey, look, Gamrot is the one that blocked it, and hey, fuck it. But once I understood that it was a twisted knee, I was like, if it had not been, that changed everything for me. If it had not been, I would have been like, yeah, Gamrot, fuck it. Yeah, he deserves that win. But when I saw it was a twisted knee, I'm like, that's a tough one because it's unsatisfying. It's like it was just an injury,
Well, it's like, so we were saying on the air, it was kind of like when Cater, it was like Cater and Ige or whatever. Same thing, like you throw a kick and then you come back down and like, it sucks because we didn't really see the fight we all were hoping to. But that being
and it was
said,
cooking. It was moving.
That's what I was going to say.
direction.
That being said, it was looking great and Gamrot was looking
so
great.
good.
And we talked about on the show like how he's able to weaponize his cardio, and that's the kind of thing that he has that advantage over Fiziev. And I could see, you could potentially see the pace that they already had. You know what I mean? And you hear
and he
everybody
was
talking.
hanging. He was hanging on the feet. It wasn't like, oh, this is a guy who's just looking for a checkdown. I mean, he's explosive, and I think I don't know. Fiziev looked a little surprised about that fact.
Well, exactly. That's the whole thing. Like, so, I was working with Rashad and with
Rashad.
Alan, and Sugar was like, no, Gamrot was kind of cooking. He's like, he's like, I think he was looking really good
Very good.
overall anyway,
Yeah, but still
and
unsatisfying finish,
Very much so. And I showed at the beginning of the show here, but Chidi did get it right. Chidi did pick Gamrot. Chidi got the last couple right because he got Alexa Grasso too, and I do know that both of those last two main events have ended in kind of weird fashions. But Chidi still did get it right. But I guess my point, and I also showed this other thing. I interviewed Grant Dawson, who's the main event next weekend when Alexander is fighting. Grant is fighting Bobby Green, but Grant and Gamrot go together at ATT. So Gamrot trains in Poland, but when he comes to the States, he trains at ATT. So Grant was telling me, he's like, oh no, like when Gamrot and I go, he's like, yeah, people kind of stop what they're doing in the gym to look and watch us, which I 100% believe because Grant's on a tear. He's just been wrecking people. He's such a great grappler, but both of them are great grapplers, but they have more than just that. Right, exactly. Yeah. So I do believe it, but I'm a Gamrot fan too. I find him very likable, and I like Fiziev too. It's not that it's not one or the other. I just really do like Gamrot.
I like the way Gamrot fight. And having said that, I did have Sahuki and beating him. I just did. Nothing against the guy, but I think that's
Sahuki is that good.
I think that's another future potential champion too. I think he's
agree.
a fucking kid. I think that kid is a fucking murderer.
I agree.
I look forward to seeing the future of that kid.
I agree.
The two of them, that fight was a pleasure to watch. That was what a fight that was.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is that we were
grappling version of. these, and you. Even though it looked exciting, to do what those two guys was doing, it's so hard. It's not even funny. I mean, even just the cardio of it, to do such a thing, to grapple like that at that pace for that
100%,
and getting hit in the face and all that.
Well, Joe here saying he thinks Gamrot's going to have a hard time booking a fight because nobody in the top 5 wants to fight him. They'll take nothing less than a title shot. But that's the whole point, right? So going into this fight,
it is true.
Gamrot was number 7, Fiziev was number 6. And that's the whole point, is that they know, they're both like, okay, if I win this fight, I'm in title shot now because, and it's kind of muddy at the top of lightweight. Makhachev obviously is fighting Charles next month.
Now, I'll tell you what, I would like to see a Gamrot
Makhachev, because Makhachev.
Yeah.
Makhachev.
Chev.
Makhachev.
Chev.
Makhachev.
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 Yes.
No, Gamrot does think he's got better grappling than Makhachev.
Well, let's not get fucking carried away here. I'm just saying.
So does Grant, though. He thinks it too.
So it's a good matchup. I'm not. Now you're getting carried away here. But maybe he'll prove us wrong. But that's what I want to see. To be honest, I hope he's high. I like seeing the unbeatable guys get beat. I like that.
I agree too. Well, now that we're talking about it, I gotta just show you this then because, wait, where did it go? Wait. Oh yeah, I should just show you this because we're talking about it. So this is what Grant said about if he matches up with Makhachev. Curious. You mean, yeah, when we have somebody like Islam Makhachev at the top of the division, I have to believe that you look at him and be like, bring it on.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just talking about Islam a couple of days ago too, and we were saying, like, somebody asked me, what do you think that you bring against Islam that everybody else doesn't? And that is, once I get the takedown, I've banked around. When I take people down, they very, very, very rarely get away from me. And we've seen in the past, guys have been able to take Islam down. And when they get him down, keeping him down is the hard part. But these guys that have got him down don't have a body triangle like I do, don't have the submission threat that I do, don't have the control on top that I do. In my last fight, in a 15-minute fight, I had 12 minutes and 45 seconds of control time. So if I get Islam down, it's instantly 1-0 Grant Dawson.
Nice. Wow. So, I mean, he's very confident.
You can see that. And I'm shocked that he's willing to say all those bad things about Islam, knowing what happened to like Salman Rushdie's of the world and a lot of other people. It's like ballsy. He said he's going to keep Islam down. Imagine a lot of the whole Islam community. Wow.
It's not.
You're better him saying it than me. I hope nothing happens to him.
It's Makhachev
and he's white. He's Caucasian and on Chabuch.
At any rate.
Okay, so anyway, Grant
believes he matches up well with the champion. We'll see. Next week he's fighting Bobby Green, our former guest. But I have this whole interview with Grant, so people can see a bunch more. But again, agreed. Again, to your point, the Grants, the Gamrots, like there are some fun matchups for Makhachev.
Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, I love the sport, but yeah. Why do we don't have Why do we have Chev on here?
Makhachev?
Yeah. Yeah.
Makhachev?
That hurts my throat even just hearing you say that.
Islam Makhachev? I don't the time difference maybe?
He don't have time for us anymore.
He doesn't have time for us. Okay.
No. Okay.
At any rate. Yeah, okay. So that this is some good stuff that we have coming up. That's next week. So at any rate, Grant is the main event next weekend, and he is I forget what his number is. Maybe he's number 10. I think he might be number 10 lightweight right now.
I don't know.
At any rate, what else did you think? And granted, we know, Dan was on the show with us with Bryan Battle 2 episodes ago, and Bryan won his fight. This was a great fight though with Dan and Bryce. I took my daughter.
Who did you have winning?
Well,
did you have? I no, because I think I was biased because we had Dan on the show, but I didn't have. Somebody had Dan losing all 3 rounds.
I don't know if he lost all of them, but Bryce, I mean, I guess with his grappling and control and stuff. But I did like how, they were cool with each other after. But I took my daughter down like a Bryce Mitchell rabbit hole because I was explaining to her, I was like, he's a flat earther and he doesn't believe this and he doesn't believe. Yeah. And I was like, you don't understand. He's a very entertaining fighter. He's like polite in interviews.
He seems like a sweet person.
He does. There's so much about him that I find so likable.
Yeah.
And then he goes off on the crazy train of flat earthing and gravity isn't real and evolution isn't real. And I totally do not want to disrespect any of our viewers, but I believe in evolution. I believe in gravity.
What?
I believe the earth is round.
This is unprecedented. The fuck are you talking? What? Get what the proof? What? Based on what? Well, what basis?
But all
Give
that
me
said,
one-
I'm
give me
so
one-
here for Bryce Mitchell. I'm so here
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Bryce.
Listen, you know,
And his girlfriend killing his fruit trees is BS. His ex-girlfriend wrecking his fruit trees is awful.
Well, that sounds biblical. She cut down his fruit tree or whatever. They don't bear fruit anymore. Listen, what I was the most unfortunate part about that was not that he was going off on a religious thing, because that is what it is. If you're religious, you're gonna think that's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You're gonna be like, "Oh, he's so courageous."
He took out the Holy Bible in the
Yeah.
octagon.
If you're religious if you're his religion, you're gonna be like, "Oh God, wow, what a breath of fresh air." Now, if you're not religious, you're gonna be like, "Fuck that shit." Okay. However, so I didn't care one way or the other because it is what it is. You're religious or not, whatever.
Right.
But the part that I felt bad about that made me feel awkward is like Dan didn't want anything to do with like he didn't even want to be pulled into that moment, you know?
Yeah.
And I understand that the intentions was good, but at the same time, all I was looking at Dan was like he just was like, "Get me out of here! Like
Right.
I lost, fine. Just please let me go and just be alone." You know what I mean? And the whole thing was like, oh God, you know, like I was like, let this poor man off the hook, like get him out of there, you know?
And then Bisping too, when he's just like, and he's like, Satan this, and if you remember, and I was actually showing the kid, because like I said, we went down to Bryce rabbit hole when Bryce was on the show with Mike and Anthony a couple days prior to the fight.
Yeah.
He was saying that the world was going to end on September 23rd, that there was some prophecy and all this stuff, and like that the world was going to end on September 23rd too.
Yeah. Lo and behold, that didn't happen again. Yo, what are you gonna
Like
do?
I said,
Hey, listen,
I don't
long
want to be
before he was
disrespectful.
born, yeah.
And he can rap like crazy. I played her some of his Prairie Fire stuff or whatever. Like, I enjoy Bryce. But I guess also my point on that was watching the thing where he's talking to Bisping and Anthony, and he's like, he asked Bisping, he's like, "Hey, do you believe in evolution or whatever?" And
I saw that clip.
And Michael's like, "Yeah."
I saw
And he's
that
like,
clip.
"Wrong, Satan, this, that." I guess my point is just that it's amazing, and we've known this anyway with politics and all these other things, but like when people believe something that you don't believe, but they believe it with every cell in their body, and sometimes you're just like, I don't get it, but I applaud your enthusiasm, but like we could not be further apart on beliefs. On certain things. Like it's weird.
Well, there's beliefs and I feel like belief and knowing something is two different stuffs. You know what I'm saying? Like certain stuffs is more, I don't know. You know what? Whatever. You know what? Fucking believe whatever the
But
fuck
bless
you
his heart.
want. I
And
don't
look
care.
at Sugar's for people who don't know, Rashad is a flat earther too. And he's one of my best friends, but I literally look at him sometimes. I'm like, come on, Sugar, come on.
Yeah, I happen to know a couple people who
Come on.
do that shit.
Come on. But anyway, live and
It
let
is what
live.
it is. At the end of the day, just like somebody's sexuality or
Right.
if they like cilantro or don't like cilantro, at the end of the day, that's you fucking life. If you don't want to eat cilantro or you want to do
Right.
whatever, you know what? Hey, do what the fuck you want to do. You
Well,
want to
and like
believe
I
in that? I
explained,
don't care.
I'm like, Bryce is one of the most polite. He's like a yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no sir. Like there's a lot about him that is like so endearing and all this stuff. And I think actually part of his wild beliefs also endear him in a way. But I don't, like, I'm just like, bro. I just don't understand how people believe certain things. I just don't get it. Like,
You know what the thing is? I think what it is it's a good trait that a lot of these folks have, which is curiosity and not checking and wanting to be what do you call that kind of thinking that's outside the box, non-linear thinking.
Sure.
There's such a
Critical thinking. and this
we
and that,
need
right, yeah.
non-linear thinking.
For sure. Oh, you froze. Are you back? We need nonlinear thinking. Oh, you were just about to drop a kernel of some incredible stuff, but you froze up, Hanach. The favela is not strong tonight.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
Oh, I lost everybody. What?
Yeah,
are
you
back?
froze for a second.
I
You froze
froze.
for a second.
Okay, so everything just disappeared. Okay, so I'm good now or no?
Yeah, you are. And I agree with you. Unadopted. He didn't say anything inflammatory. It's just that his beliefs are different from mine, and I.
Well, yeah, no. The thing about inflammatory, it's not inflammatory. It's when you have another guy who's like, I just want to leave. Okay, like it's not my moment. I lost the
Dan,
fight.
with
Let
Dan,
me
right,
go.
yeah.
And being like, because you believe it. No, you're gonna stay here. Pray. You're gonna do it. It's like your intention. I know his intention. He thinks that if he does that, a lot of good is gonna happen. Okay. But maybe Dan doesn't necessarily think that, So just because you believe something, even though that is religious too, he have his own way of expressing that. He have his own time. You want to do that, and some time people is too pushy with shit like that, and it's like the intention is good, the delivery is not so good, and that's okay. Listen, I give a fuck. You know what I mean? I wasn't disgusted or I was just more like, oh, God, are you? It just felt awkward. That's all.
Awkward,
But I don't give a shit. He didn't. When nothing collapsed, nobody died because he did that. Who gives a shit? It's not
I
that
don't
big
think
a
any
deal
of
to me.
us. Yeah, nobody said he did.
It's not that big a deal to me. But the thing is about what I was saying about people who is like, let's say conspiracy theorists or people who believe the earth is flat or something like that. I think that it's
in
one
other
of these
words,
things
94% of the MMA fighters that I know.
There you go. I think that the trait in them is a positive. It's like a searcher, a person who wants to understand, a curiosity, of a spark for like wanting to gain knowledge. The problem is having that and going to one source and going, oh, this is where all the knowledge comes from, And it's funny because in trying to be different and seeking alternative shit, you end up being just as bad or whatever as the people that is the sheep. Because you kind of getting all you fucking takes
from the one flat earther source.
It happens to be a different. Totally. It happens to be different than the mainstream, but it's all the same shit that all the people that in your community is getting it from. Be it Alex Joans or God knows all these other sources. So you kind of like, yes, you're getting shit that's different than the mainstream. But I tell you what, I know all the sources that everybody's getting all these funky or alternative fucking ideas from. Yeah. They're not getting it from some kind of research and development and going out on their own. They all getting it wholesale from the same fucking people who is disseminating this shit, So, I don't know.
It's wild and I agree with you that a lot of them get it from the same place. And there was even, I remember seeing a thing online one time and it was like, it was so funny to me. It was like, I swear to, it was like their Twitter handle of a Flat Earth Society. And it was literally like Flat Earth Society. We've got believers or fans or supporters all around the globe.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I know. Yeah. You know what my problem is? Here's my problem with that shit. Not just the funny part of that. I like the fact that people is willing to seek out other information, okay? Seek out new information. But here's the problem. If you see but don't discard other facts, like if you're going to be a flat earther, this means you have to disregard. Okay, fine. Is it fine to investigate that?
Right.
I don't have a problem with someone going, you know what? I never considered.
Curious,
let me hear what this person is saying.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe we did take this for granted. Let me hear you out. But to do that, to accept that as fact, you have to disregard so much fucking evidence to the point where now you're calling people sheeps, but you're kind of behaving like a fucking sheep because you're willing to follow this information and completely disregard stuff that's staring you in the face that to be able to have facts that you have to just disregard.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I get it. It's funny because Kiddo and I were watching. We're almost done. It's sad, but I've explained in the past how much I love Mad Men. Anyway,
Ah.
episode we were watching the other night was the one where they went to the moon, where the guys Buzz Aldrin, all the guys are
Oh,
on the moon.
caralho.
And it's amazing because we're watching the episode and they show everybody gathered around their TVs and they're watching the thing, and it's amazing to think that some people are like, "Oh, that was a studio in Houston. That's not real. That's all fake." And I
Well,
understand. I
You
understand.
know that's been around since we were. I mean,
That's what I'm
our
saying.
whole
Since
life.
since day
Yeah.
one. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Since they were there, since they allegedly
Yeah.
or whatever landed on the moon, people
yeah.
have believed that was fake, and I totally
Sure.
get that. But what was killing me in the thing with Bryce, with Bisping, is like Bisping's like, look it, my brother-in-law is a pilot. He flies. He has seen the curvature of the Earth. He has flown in a loop around the sphere. He has started here, gone in the same direction, and ended up where he started. And like, it's amazing. Bryce has answers for it, and he's like, oh, the reason he saw the curve of the Earth is because the windshield was curved on the plane. Like, he's got an answer for everything, but it's just, I guess my point is just like, it's just amazing sometimes when people believe something literally polar opposite of what you believe, but they're so convicted in it that you kind of have to applaud their conviction, but at the same time, you're just like, I just don't understand how we see this so differently. Like,
Well,
it's just
what
weird.
Yeah, you know what the thing is true is what I hate about that line of thinking is that, to me, when you have a curious person who has a lot of energy for like being a detective, like finding out stuff and breaking barriers and shit like that, when you have them spinning their wheels on a hamster wheel of bullshit, that
Like, we're pretty sure it's a globe. We're
already
good.
dealt with
Like,
that. That
work
shit's
on something else.
That shit's over. We're wasting a young mind
Right.
that is curious on
Yes.
nonsense. That is like my brother. And even, okay, how about this? Even let's just give him benefit of the doubt. The fucking Earth is flat. Now what? So
But
let's
why
move
can't
on.
anybody take a picture of the edge of it?
But fuck it. I'm just saying. Fuck it. Let's just for argument's sake, let's say he's
Sure,
right.
he's right. He's
all
right,
of them
and we're
is
all
right.
wrong.
Okay, so boom, the Earth is flat. Now what? We're still living on the fucking Earth that's flat, and we still got to make a living. We still got people who is falsely in prison. Okay, let's say we're living on a flat Earth. Okay, fine. Now what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my thing is like, I remember I don't want to get too far into this, but my thing when it was Covino was happening.
Yep.
They put in a microchip so they can follow you with a GPS. Well, the thing you're hiding this on is a fucking GPS. And we've been followed for years and we pay for the privilege of it. So you pay X amount of dollars, 100 whatever dollars a month so that they can track you. So they don't need to do this to you. Okay. So it's like when you're wasting your time and then at the same time, well, they're doing this for control and da da da. At the same time, we happen to live in a country that have the most people per capita is locked up in the entire world. We have more than China, more of our per capita than any communist country, no matter. That's such a big thing, a reality. What could be more important than that?
Well, some places just kill you for
But
whatever. But I agree. I agree.
No. I'm not. No. I'm not saying there's not a great country or a communist country is bad. What I'm saying is this is a huge fucking problem.
Yes.
And if you're worrying about your freedoms and you're worrying about they got you under control 1984, what could be more controlling than having the most per capita in the fucking locked up in prison on Earth, on the flat Earth? To me, that seems like a fucking problem.
It's weird, yeah, and to me, honestly, and we can move on, but yeah, I to me, and I've said it to Rashad, he's very much a conspiracy theorist. Like there was one time when it was me, Rashad, Greg Jackson, and Mike Winklejohn standing around in the hotel just chit chatting because obviously Rashad used to be a Jackson Wink guy, so they go way back. And Wink and Rashad are both conspiracy theorist guys.
Yeah.
So Wink and Rashad were going off on these things. And Greg and I were just kind of standing there and we were like, listen to these two. We were like, they should do a podcast. And I was like, I could produce that podcast. I would sit back and like those two could talk and I'll produce it. But literally, but it was like, and it's to your point. Like, I guess my thing is, with people who are conspiracy theorists, it seems like a lot, like you were saying, a lot of like wasted energy, a lot of
It's
like,
a lot of
can't
chasing
we
your
do
tail.
something? Yeah, and so and I guess I guess my point is like sometimes Rashad would say things and he's like this, that, the other thing, da 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 da, and I go, Rashad, to what end? Why
Well, that's
are
what I wanna know.
They,
What are you
why
gonna do
are
about it?
they doing this? Why are they doing this? And he's like, because they want to get one world capitalist bank and a one nation and a one this. So he's got all these conspiracy theories, but I'm just like, I don't know, man. That seems like a lot of effort worrying about these conspiracies. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? To me, it's like, okay, that's a separate fucking issue. If you want to talk about banking and all that kind of stuff, it's like you have nothing to do with the fucking flat earth. It's like focus on real shit. Okay, let's say they trying to make us believe the earth is flat. What the fuck you gonna do about it? So how about we focus on shit that we can do something about?
That we can do something about.
Help the fucking people in your community.
Exactly.
And another thing too, a lot of things is piped up now about human traffickings and children and pedophiles and shit.
Yes.
The fucking Catholic Church has been getting away with this shit for I don't know how long,
right?
Forever, and still do. And we're talking about, and everybody's up in arms about all this stuff that may or may not be going on in Disney or wherever the fuck is at. Well, there's a place where shit is going on. Nobody was. Where you at go? How come you're not at the fucking Catholic Church beating down the doors of the Catholic Church?
Well,
it's all selective. You being told,
totally,
because you talk about shit. You being told you're not supposed to like these people. These people is against our agenda. They all pedophiles. You know what I mean? And
right.
You gotta, and it's like,
dude, literally, and we can move on, but literally one of the things that was amazing was that Bryce's explanation for why the world was going to end on Saturday or last Saturday was like, it was literally like astronomy, and it was literally like horoscopes. And I was like, okay, I like to read my horoscopes. I read them for fun. I think they're funny. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good point, and like makes me think about things. Sometimes I look back on stuff and I'm like, actually that happened or whatever. But I know horoscopes are like just for fun. I don't really think it's science.
Sure.
But literally, he was basing the prophecy that the world was going to end on like basically astrology or like a horoscope. Yeah. And I was like, so on the one hand, you can deny something as factual as NASA, but you put your faith in a horoscope. Like, it's just weird.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
It.
That's the thing. If you're gonna disregard facts and any kind of science at all, then you open yourself up to believe, a lot of fucking, you can believe pretty much fucking anything, you know what I mean?
Anyway, look, I believe in a lot of stuff, and here's the thing, I believe in science, but I also believe in ghosts, you know what I mean? I believe in...
Yeah, see, I don't believe in ghosts. I mean, I'm different. I don't believe... I'm one of these people, if I don't see that shit, I don't know about that one. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, if I don't see it, I never seen no fucking ghost.
Well, speaking of ghosts,
I've been around for a while.
Speaking of ghosts, this, let me just move on, because there's some other fight stuff we can talk about, but we all know how sad it was to watch Michelle get beat up.
No ghost.
How sad it was to watch Michelle lose to
Can I tell you my theory of ghosts? Are you scared about ghosts?
I'm not scared about ghosts.
Are you scared of ghosts?
No, I actually would like to see them. I'm not.
Scared of them.
I was going to say I'm not scared of them. Here, I wanted to show you.
You're not scared?
I'm not scared of.
You're not scared.
Did I not get to finish this thing? Hold on a second. Yeah. Here, look at this. Speaking of ghosts.
Oh no.
Oh
yeah, there was a fighter named the fucking Ghost.
No. Speaking of ghosts.
No, there was though.
Your girl Cardi B has said that she says that her LA home is haunted by a ghost that's trying to F her. She says, when I be in the house in Atlanta or New York, there's nothing. But this house in LA is always some weird vibe.
That's because I'm in there creeping in the house.
That's what I was going to say. You got to get out of Cardi's house. But so Cardi thinks she has a ghost that's trying to F her.
Sounds good to me. I mean, Is it a good looking ghost? Is he attractive? How big is his schwanz? Does he? What is he? What kind of lines is he throwing at her? How can she tell he's trying to fuck her? He grabbing her tits, her ass.
I didn't read the story because headlines are more fun.
Listen, okay, put it to you this way: How come everybody's fucking ghost stories is always in a creepy locale or a fucking house, an old house that's creaking around and stuff like that? How come? Where one person died or whatever one time years ago?
That's why they're haunting the place.
How come you go down the fucking freeway where people die every fucking day? It should be like this, and like you should be like this. God, are you every fucking time you go on the fucking freeway? But somehow, and how come ghosts is always fucking people? How come you don't have a chicken ghost or an insect ghost?
Wasn't there Ghost Dog? Wasn't there a movie called Ghost Dog?
Yeah, but he was a samurai. I thought, for fuck's sake. But so there's no bird ghost, there's no chicken, horse, duck ghost. Everything's a fucking.
But maybe only
person.
Birds see bird ghosts, and ducks see duck ghosts, and horses see horse ghosts, and we see.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe in them. I do believe that.
Oh, why? I mean, you seen them? You seen one?
No, but I believe that.
But that's like believing the earth is flat. I mean, you believe it for what?
This is what I'm saying. I don't have any proof for it, but like I said, I do believe in a spiritual energy. Let me just put it that way.
That's fine.
That when a person leaves this earth, when their corporeal whatever is gone, their body, like, I'm willing to believe in the energy and the whatever of the world, that there's a way somehow that spirits can still be around, and I get it. I don't have a reason for it. I don't have proof. Yeah. It's just something I choose that I want to believe.
Hang out. They got nothing better to do than hang out and watch what we do and shit.
Maybe, but sometimes you hear, okay, so the ghosts are hanging around because they're either in purgatory and they need some closure to leave, or maybe the ghosts wanted to tell you something, or they were murdered and they're miserable and they, poltergeist, right? They needed to get some closure on that.
Yes, and the movie Poltergeist, yes.
I don't know. I'm just saying I guess, and I watch X-Files a lot at night, I'm like Fox Mulder. I want to believe. Like I guess.
And guess what? I want to believe.
I want to believe that people that I miss that are gone, I want to believe that they're not like 100% gone.
See, I want to believe in this too, but unfortunately, I have lost, as you have, some of the most closest people to me in my life here, okay? People that, if they could, would fucking reveal themselves to me, and not a peep have I got. Right. Only in dreams. And dreams is dreams, you know what I'm saying? So I can't, I could say, he visited me on my dream or whatever.
Because some people could see in certain coincidences or in certain things that you've been visited.
I know, but for fuck's sake, I mean, hey, look, I got a lot of opportunities for a ghost to have some conversation with me, or to come sit on my lap here and talk to me or whatever.
Right.
And I have yet to experience that, not even once. So... I mean, until I see it. And if I see it, I'll be like, oh shit. As a matter of fact, guess what? Ghost is healed.
Well, so here's the thing. So with Alex, we didn't really get into it, but in San Antonio, the hotel we stayed in that time I was there for his fight and everything is allegedly a haunted hotel.
Sure.
So some people that I work with said they had experiences. And so when I got there, I was like, I want a haunted room. Like, please give me a haunted room. Like, I wanted a haunted room.
And you went into the haunted home.
And I did not get a haunted room, but some people did.
Wait,
and
was it
and
supposed to be a haunted room or not?
There's people who were like, the water's running in the bathroom, and they go in there and there's like nobody turned it on or nobody turned it off, like, but the water was running and they saw somebody, like literally people that I work with on the UFC staff did have some experiences, and I was bummed that I didn't get a haunted room in San Antonio, but literally the hotel we stayed in, and people could Google it or whatever, but allegedly. There are ghosts at this hotel in San Antonio.
Listen, I just think there's been so many people that have been alive throughout history and died. I just would imagine there'd be a lot more instances of ghosts. You know what I mean? I mean, think of all the people that have fucking died.
But maybe they are, and you're just not seeing them because you don't believe.
Maybe that's why I didn't saw Sanch. My dad took me to see a black Sanch. one time.
The Shadow Santa.
He was he wanted presents for us. He was getting some presents from us.
He wanted you to sit on his lap for sure.
Now, and listen, like I said, I'm willing. I'm willing to believe in a ghost, and I wish. So I would sincerely would just fucking be over the moon if I could have a relationship with some people that I've known in the past.
Wouldn't that be
okay?
cool?
I would love to fucking see and have conversation. I would like nothing more than that.
Right?
I have yet, and I know I look fucking in my mid to late 20s, but I've yet to experience not even a smattering of a ghost. I mean, not even a whisper of a fucking ghost. I've heard a lot of fucking stories. I've had people close to me say these things. Now, ESP kinds of fucking weird things, yes, because I have experienced like hundreds of them. You know
Like
what I'm
the
saying?
whole kind of deja vu or the clairvoyance where you're like, I
Just
swear I've been here.
no, not that, not that. Like on shit that if I heard someone else say it, I wouldn't believe it.
Like coincidences or things like that? Or?
Not coincidences, like shit that where somebody, like where me being in a situation, like he remember I was in a situation that was dangerous and there was something I was somewhere I shouldn't have been, and then the next morning my dad called me, and I'm all the way across the country. And my dad called me and said, I had a vision of you. There was guns. There was guns involved. There was something that,
and it really happened.
He would have no fucking clue that happened. And it was shocking, you know, I mean, and shit like that. And he always used to say, I have, I can, and he would always, especially with him, I seen some stuff that's fucking unexplainable, or someone, okay, I have another one. An old fucking friend of mine. I'm in New York. Have not talked to this fucking guy in years. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, his image come up. You know, almost like the Magic 8-Ball. Mm-hmm. You know, image just come up out of the water. Mm-hmm. His image just came up like this into my head, and the phone hang at that moment, and I pick it up, and it's him. And it's shit like that where I go,
yeah,
I don't know what that is. But there's something to that. That's a little too much of a fucking coincidence for me. So I don't proclaim to understand it or what it is, but I know there's some kind of radio waves or something that we don't understand is possible. Now with that, because I experienced it, I can't deny it. I can't say that's horse feathers. With the other shit, I'm agnostic. Hey, if there's ghosts, fine. I cannot say
I just haven't seen them myself.
I've not seen that ghost. Same with aliens. Hey, I like the thought that maybe there's some fucking aliens somewhere. Hopefully, not the Ichi kind, not the fucking other one.
Right.
But I can neither say there is or there's not. There's people I know that say there's aliens and they did this and that and that. I can't tell you that because I don't fucking know.
Well, in Mexico, they recovered a few alien bodies.
Okay, fair enough, but I don't know. Those piñatas that they found.
Amazing. That was amazing. That was Krampus.
Yeah, that was Krampus. That was paper mache.
Well, it's pretty good. Like I said, I don't necessarily have proof of ghosts, but like you, I have had some things, some like coincidences or things that happened where you're like, well, maybe there was somebody looking out for me, or maybe there was some kind of, weird kismet thing. That's what I'm saying. Like I do believe in some, kind of energies and things like that. But I guess sometimes some of that is just that, literally like you want to believe because it gives you hope. Like you want to.
I understand. Yeah. It's comforting. And I understand the thought of going like Granny was up there when I hit my home run and she was
if not for nothing, that's what heaven is like a great idea of like, I hope it's true. Right. Like,
yeah. To be honest, the thought of eternity in any form, ghost or not, that doesn't excite me. Like being conscious for eternity, I don't think that's a good idea.
If you had the opportunity to be a vampire, would you take it?
No fucking way. Because part of the excitement of life is that it can end, and part of the thing that gets you that gets fire under your ass is that you're getting older and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or that there's a finite amount of time. I think it would be too depressing, and all these people that you know dying and shit, and you
Yeah, to see everybody you love die would suck.
I think that's a fool's goal.
I don't know that I want to suck people's blood all day, every day either.
You want to suck people's. You want to suck somebody's joint all day, so you can be young again.
But immortality is somewhat appealing. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that would be maddening. I think you would go in fucking insane.
I don't know. It'd make me cool to see a lot of stuff, but I guess it's like if you could pick what age you were. Do you stay that age? Shit. And I know
bored. You know how fucking bored. If you think you're bored of seeing the same shit over and over again now,
but that's what I'm saying. I would spend 20 years here, 20 years there, 20 years there. I would live all over the place.
You would lose everyone you love.
I know that part would suck. I'm not trying to lose everybody yet.
Yeah,
I would not take the vampire option either. I don't. Yeah. If presented, I don't think I would take the vampire option either. But
yeah, eventually turn me off.
Well, there's too much killing, like to sustain your life. Like I'm not trying to. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do all this stuff to.
The one thing true is that like when people like to imagine that their granny or whoever is up there looking at you and stuff, it's like, well, you want her there. Magically, she's only looking when you're winning a BET award or if you're hitting a home run.
How about when you're doing the worst things?
How about when you're jerking off or whatever, or being a piece of shit human being or whatever? You know,
Grandma, look away.
Or cursing at somebody in traffic or whatever. I mean, and then also, what a torture. Granny, for the rest of eternity, got to sit there and watch what the fuck you doing. It's such a self-serving,
No, Granny has other options. Granny can do other stuff.
Yeah, Granny's up there guiding my every fucking move. Who was doing it for Granny?
Her Granny.
We was checking her for Granny. I tell you this. Kill me if... When I'm dead, I gotta fucking Florida Hound and help you with your fucking career, or fucking help you catch a baseball, hit a hole-in-one or whatever. I hope I fucking die. I hope I get. I don't know what's worse than that.
What did I do so wrong in life that's where I'm cursed in afterlife, is to help you catch a goddamn baseball?
like be somebody's fucking guardian angel, and the rest of the time you're just like, you're just babysitting someone for the fucking eternity. Fuck that. I want to be on to the next shit.
Well, anyway, all our friends are going to be in hell anyway. You know that, right?
That's true. That's true.
All our friends are there.
They're going to be having a lot of fun.
Okay, so listen. Here, entertain the people for a second. I just remembered something I was trying to look up. Okay, let me just look here. Entertain the people for a second. Do you remember?
Hello, my baby. Hello, my hot Chinese girl.
No, that's not Chinese. I'm only saying this because we so this is episode 99, and I was trying to figure out if we've actually. I think we've passed it, but on what day was our episode number 1? You know what I mean? Like. We've had the 2-year anniversary, but I'm saying
to be honest, I have fucking the hunger.
I know. I'm trying to look and see the date of. No idea. I can look it up here. Like what the
that would be interesting to find out.
That's what I'm saying. So because I think
I don't even remember who's the first guest.
Well, the very first one was just the two of us, right? And so
but that was an experiment. Okay, but what was the who was the first official guest?
Well, the very first guest that we had was Anthony Smith. So number one was me and you. Then it was Anthony. Then it was Jairzinho, Merab, and Algeo on number 3.
Oh, Jairzinho was that early? Wow.
Yeah, Biggie was early. Then we had Uriah Hall and Angela Hill. Then we had Rose Namajunas. Dan Hooker was episode 6.
Wow.
And Josh Barnett was number 7. And we've had a lot of great people. But that's the whole thing, is that I'm trying to see when the very first one was that we did.
We made these people famous. They didn't have. None of them had a career before they came on this shit. They should pay their fucking Hispanics.
Okay, here we go. Okay, I think I'm at the. Oh wait, one more page. We actually have a lot of these. Because not only is there 100 episodes. Okay, so the first one we did was September 8th of 2021. September 8th, 2021. Wow. Look at that. So folks should go back and check that out. But anyway, so I meant we should have, that's bad on me for a couple weeks ago not recognizing our actual anniversary. I'm sorry.
Thanks a lot.
Happy anniversary, Hanato.
It's too late as far as I'm concerned. I can't wait to haunt you. I'm going to cause all kind of little shit to happen. Like nothing big, just turn on like the water so that you go, hey, I could have swore somebody turned on the water in there. Now it's not on. And I'm like, what a shitty prank. Ghosts have the lamest sense of humor slash, oh, I could have swore somebody turned on the water and then turned it off.
Well, there is a lot of I couldn't find this thing and I looked in this one. See, but this does happen.
Because this never happens in real life. We never misplace shit.
I couldn't find this thing. I looked in this one same spot 19 times. And on the 20th time, it was there.
And there could be no other explanation than that. Yeah, it's true. I understand. The ghosts.
Ghosts are real.
They're out there.
Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Are you the key?
That's the Gozer, the Gozer. Yeah, that's the fucking.
I am
Zuli. Oh, Zuli. Oh, Zuli. Yeah. Zuli is something else.
Okay, so listen, Hanach. There's no UFC fights this weekend.
That's okay.
But we'll be back at it next week. So here's the thing. I spoke with Grant Dawson, who's fighting on October 7th in the main event. He's fighting Bobby Green, who is a former guest of ours. You should look at that old episode. But I also, tomorrow, I'll be talking with Tan Lee, who is going to be the main event for the ONE FC show next Friday. Okay. Tan, if you guys remember, he was on The Ultimate Fighter and stuff like that. So now he's in ONE FC. Nice. I'm going to talk to Tan tomorrow. So, look for that interview and stuff because it turns out now that he's going to be the main event next Friday night on ONE FC, which I believe is going to be on Amazon Prime. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's very cool. Chan, I said,
and it's an MMA fight. A lot of time they have like combination things where they'll have like MMA and Muay
they got some exciting shit over there.
It is.
They got some fun characters over there. They got a lot of energy in that one. I'm always curious about what the fuck is going on over there.
Agreed. Yeah. So I'll be talking to him. So look for that. And then I've got that interview with Grant. And I think there was somebody else I was going to talk to. I don't know. But if you missed any of the part earlier, with Alexander Hernandez, he was great. And he was plus I love when people hang out because I did, like I said, I got the word from him in advance. Like, hey, I'm in camp. It's the week before a fight. Like, and I'm always respectful of people. Like, I don't want to take more time than you're comfortable with. Then they get here and they're having too much fun.
He gave himself an out. And I do the same shit. Look, if it's boring and shitty, you want to be able to be like, oh, well, time to go. You know what I mean? And, so you got, he gave himself a built-in, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
He even admitted to it. He goes, now that I've seen you guys.
now that I know that it's actually fun. Yeah.
Yeah, because, if it's going to be the same questions, you get 100,000 fucking chances, then what's 100%. The point, It's just he's like sitting there,
Exactly, and that's literally what I said at the beginning of the show before you joined here was like, you may see our guests on other shows, but you need to know it'll be a completely different interview. Yeah.
For sure. 100 guaranteed.
So with that said, this is episode 99. You can find all of the episodes. Well, 99. Not all of them are on Spotify. Like, I would say I think I started uploading them to Spotify around episode 30 or 40. I maybe still need to go back to some of the earlier ones, but look at the bulk of our shows are there, and I can still go through and add more. But Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, basically all the places that you get your podcasts, you can find us. We are on Hanato's Twitch. We are on my YouTube, YouTube.com/Karyn Bryant, Karyn. Bryant as in Kobe, no relation, but may he rest in peace. But we really have a who's who. And so next week on episode 100.
A who?
Next week we'll revisit some of our favorite things and kind of just like hang out and catch up. Isn't that amazing?
We've come a long way, baby. Like Virginia Slim or whatever. We've come a long way, baby. Okay, and I'm Hanato _ Laranja on all that other shit. Okay,
that's right.
And on X videos and blackpeoplemeet.com. Okay.
Like people
And also all
but
that other
and yes,
funny shit.
AJ, you say this can't be live. It 100% is. So
It is
you're busted
live,
because
Carla.
it's totally live. Oh
Who
yeah,
is
Joe
live?
Bozer.
How is it not live if we're talking to these fucking
I know
people?
exactly.
Wait.
And yeah, Joe bringing this up. Chris Lieben made his Nevada debut as a judge. Yes, I posted a clip
I
with Chris.
condone that. Listen,
Yeah.
I love Chris Lieben.
I know,
He's
we all
a
love
good
the
he's a good guy, and I like his story. He was having some serious fucking problems, and this guy
Big
turned
time.
his shit up. He turned it around, you know, and he comes from a hard scrabble beginnings, tough beginnings, and I'm always proud to see somebody who's stumbled to get back up, you know.
Agreed.
Good
I like
guy.
him a lot. And when I saw him there on Saturday, I was like, wait a minute. It's like, I need to ask him some stuff. So I like stuck a camera in his face and I was like, whoa, like you're
I've been
here. We're
waiting
so
for this.
excited.
I want to see more of that. More judges, more
Exactly.
referees who been in that shit, you know.
Exactly. So, at any rate, thank you guys for joining us tonight and checking out the show. Go back and look at some of these old episodes because they're a really good time. But a big thanks to Alexander Hernandez for joining us. He is fighting Bill Algeo at UFC Vegas 80. That's going to be a scrap because Bill's a dog too. I think that's going to be a really entertaining fight.
A dog fight.
Yep. So thank you so much for joining us, folks. I will let everybody know where they can find us. But Hanach, be kind to the ladies. How's the waterbed these days? Is it good?
It's great. I
She
put
got a
Kool-Aid in there.
great ass.
Get a great.
All right, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Ciao. Oh, Karyn Bryant. Karyn Bryant's got a great ass. If I were younger, I'd take a flamethrower to this podcast.